and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album, from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's stomach issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
While others are sleeping, we are up breaking down the sports world.
The NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college football, college baseball, UFC, and so much more.
For your weekly sports news, tune into the Breakdown After Dark on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
It is a gorgeous Tuesday night of baseball here in the Valley of the Sun between two crosstown rivals, the Grand Canyon Antelopes out of the Mountain West and the Arizona State Sun Devils out of the Big 12. I'm Koby Braunstein alongside Shay Moloney. And Shay, this is the first of three matchups between both teams. That's the first time that can be said where both teams have played three matchups against each other in almost 30 years. This crosstown matchup is sure going to be fiery. The last couple years, they've split matchups. What can you expect with this Arizona State squad? So much momentum heading into tonight following a series victory against a ranked team.
Yeah, ASU's rolling. They just had the series win over TCU, knocked TCU out of the rankings, actually, in a conference that's going to be very competitive in the Big 12. And I think a lot of the talk after that ASU series win, especially after losing the Friday night game and bouncing back with Saturday and Sunday wins, was just about how TCU was seen to be as the top dog in the Big 12, at least one of the top dogs, and you get them out of the way at home before the full slate of conference begins. And so now you try to keep that momentum going after a conference win with midweek wins like this against a GCU team that in the past half decade has really built their momentum as a national program, whereas before it was just a crosstown rivalry. 10, 15 minutes between stadiums, between campuses. They've always played, but now these games actually mean a lot. The fan bases are both engaged. Baseball means a lot to both programs, and the games have been competitive because of that. They split last year, went 1-1. GCU has made a few tournament appearances in their last half decade, last in 2024, where they almost got out of the Tucson Regional, and ASU, obviously, a tournament appearance, the first one of Willie Bloomquist's era last year.
Competition in conference play is only going to get stiffer for GCU. For a long time, then they were in the Western Athletic Conference, and they just recently in every sport joined the Mountain West. They have yet to play a conference game. They're the only team within that conference to not play within conference pool play, but Arizona State 2-1, as we mentioned, in Big 12 play. That incredible comeback in this series against the TCU Horned Frogs, knocking them out of the rankings, as you mentioned, Shay, and the Sun Devils entering the rankings at number 24, and GCU at 8-13 this season, a 166 RPI as compared to Arizona State at 14-5. They've only lost one at home. They're 13-1. They have been outstanding here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium with an RPI of 39. The team in black with maroon on the numbers has taken the field, and there's a southpaw on the hill. He is both a reliever and a starter, including this midweek start tonight. It is Easton Barrett. What more do we have on the lefty?
Yeah, Easton Barrett was really supposed to be that guy to take a big step up this season as a true sophomore out of Utah for ASU on the bump, and he was even inserted into that Sunday rotation role at the beginning of the season, but really struggled with command. He's had a huge walks issue, Koby. 13 free passes given in his 5 1/3 innings of work. He was then promptly taken out of the weekend rotation, has made a couple relief appearances since then, and now will try to get back on track with another start here in a midweek game on a Tuesday night against GCU. And what a beautiful night it is.
Absolutely. The sky, it's a hazy sky, some orange, some red, a little bit of yellow as well as the sun starts to go down momentarily here in the valley. You mentioned the last start was February 22nd against St. John's, and Barrett went 2 1/3, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 4 walks. It's going to be the total that we talked about heading into the game tonight. 2 strikeouts and 52 pitches for the redshirt sophomore, and then his last time out was in relief. That was on March 8th against Loyola Marymount. He went just 1 inning and faced the minimum. So certainly some momentum for him heading into tonight's game. And Shay, you can take us 1 through 9 down the Sun Devil order, or rather, pardon me, the GCU Antelope order, starting with Jake Sanko in the leadoff hole.
Yeah, Sanko will play second base. Following him will be the catcher Marcus Galvin. After him, it'll be Billy Scoutafair. He's really been pacing that GCU offense this year, along with the guy who hits right behind him in the cleanup spot, Cannon Peary. Jose Lopez will hit in the 5 spot right after them, followed by Dominic Chacon, who was once committed to play at Arizona State. Gunnar Pinskover, a two-way player, will play left field and hit tonight instead of doing his pitching duties. And in the 8 spot, it'll be shortstop Troy Sanders. He's from down in Tucson. And rounding us out in the 9 spot, center fielder Max Charles.
This Lopes team split 4 games this past weekend. It was an odd set of games. They were hosting 2 different teams. They played both of them twice. They played St. Mary's twice, and they played Rice twice. They went 0-2 against Rice, and they went 2-0 against St. Mary's in what was a little unusual at home for the Lopes, and instead they trade for their road gray colors and facing a southpaw in Easton Barrett. First pitch on the way, in there for a strikeout or half at 90.
Talked about Barrett having 4 appearances on the year. He has walked 3 or more hitters in each of those appearances, except for the last one, as you mentioned, against Loyola Marymount a couple weekends ago, where he did not walk a soul. So that is what Willie Bloomquist will be hoping for in that home dugout.
Cricket pitch bounced in front of the home plate. 1 ball and a strike. Sanko hitting north of 400, 407, no homers, but 9 RBIs. He has paced this Antelopes team in most batting categories in the young season. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball got him out in front, now 1-2. Beautiful sweeper at 77.
It's a GCU offense that has really struggled out of the gates on a usually very good hitting team. And Sanko was a guy that just had 1 start last year as a true freshman for that Lopes team. And now this year, top of the order, has to be one of the better hitters in that lineup if they want success.
Just 7 at-bats, hitting 407 through 21 games. Next pitch. Just a little low and away, 78 went Barrett. Close pitch just off the outer half. After Senko, it'll be Marcus Galvin, the catcher, followed by Billy Scaldaferri. Infield and outfield playing at normal depth behind Barrett. Lefty in the windup, and here's the pitch. Fastball driven on the ground to Austin Rolling at third. Fields throws on to Dominic Smaldino at first. There is one away.
Yeah, I should talk about the ASU hot corner tonight, Koby, as New Contrada still dealing with that hamstring injury. At least it was appeared to be him grabbing his hamstring in that Loyola Marymount game a few weekends ago. Rolling has come in and has done absolutely fantastic and finds himself hitting in the 3 spot here tonight.
He's 12 for his last 20 at the plate and has certainly flashed the leather numerous times the last couple games over at the hot corner. Now a lefty steps in, and Marcus Galvin. 1 up, 1 down for Easton Barrett. First pitch to the lefty in the box, right over the heart of the plate at 91. GCU has had a couple of 4-game sets, including at home against Oklahoma State, where they won the first matchup as Barrett delivers just low at the cleats of Galvin. They won the first one, and they lost their next 3 against the Cowboys. And they also had an interesting set at Utah. They lost every game, and they were outscored 21-2 offensively, including the first 3 matchups in which they were shut out. 1-1 pitch, just a little low below the knees. 91 from Barrett. 2 balls and a strike. I mean, you go 0-4 in Salt Lake City. You only muster 2 runs. You think there's something broken with the offense. And then they went 2-2 this past weekend. 2-1 on the way. Cracked foul, third base side.
And as we talked about in the open, it's usually a very well-respected program. As Greg Wallace has taken over, he's in his 4th season here. He's made the tournament, or GCU has made the tournament 3 times in the last half-decade. It's just a team that has not clicked offensively here, but conference play hasn't started for him yet, so you never know. Those bats can get hot at any moment.
Count even at 2. The ball bounced away from the catcher, Nikolai. And with that, we'll take you through the infield and outfield behind Easton Barrett, starting with the catcher, Cohen Nikolai. Right to left in the infield, Dominic Smaldino, Beckett Zavorik at second, PJ Mutsaritas, and Austin Rolig. And then left to right in the outfield, Harrison, Longo, and Toyo, with his full count offering on the way. A high chopper over to second. Zavorik fields on to first for Smaldino, no problem.
Early returns positive for the young Easton Barrett on the mound. He is commanding the zone, getting soft contact on the ground, roll over to Austin Rolig to start, and then deep count there, and he didn't lose him. Got Galvin to roll over himself to Beckett Zavorik, another young ASU Sun Devil at second base.
Now it's Billy Scaldaferri, the right fielder for the Lopes, in the box on the right side. Barrett delivers a backdoor breaking ball at 74 that clips the zone. Scaldaferri, 3 long balls, 333 average, a whole lot of 3s in the scoring column for the right fielder, and 20 RBIs. 0-1 pitch, just a bit high. Went back to the breaker at 74. Count runs level.
And you can disinclude Scaldaferri from those GCU hitting struggles to begin the season. He actually had a 17-game hitting streak to start the year that was just snapped this past weekend on Saturday.
Lefty rocks and deals. Went low and actually through the wickets of Nikolai.
Barrett skipped a few of those breaking offerings in the early going.
Scaldaferri did not budge or move a single muscle on that one. Saw it the whole way. 2 balls and a strike, 2 gone, top 1. Lefty deals on the ground to first. Smaldino short hop and takes the easy jog over to first. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Easton Barrett. A 0 on the board for the Lopes. Bottom half of the first on the other side here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, And with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's STEM issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12.
Bottom of the first here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Koby Braunstein alongside Shay Moloney. 1-2-3 went the GCU Antelopes through a half of frame, and the Sun Devils are sending up Landon Harrison to the box, who had a terrific Saturday and Sunday evenings for the Sun Devils, and they were able to capture the series away from the Horned Frogs in emphatic fashion. And he will be facing a lefty and Cody Kimberly as Harrison cracks at the first pitch, and it dunks in for a base hit in a left center field. Harrison wasting no time. The fans at home are watching the WBC Championship Series. It went the exact same way on both sides with Ronald Acuna and on the U.S. as well. What a fun matchup that is. You can watch that game and a little simulcam, or rather not simulcam, but you're able to tune in and listen to this one on Blaze Radio YouTube as well. PJ Moutsouridis, right side of the box, takes a fastball upstairs at 88, but clips the zone 0-1.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lower stakes in this midweek action here on a Tuesday night between
Just
ASU and
a
GCU.
little
But
bit.
you know, the thing about baseball is that any game at any level, any time, and any day of the week can turn into the best game you've ever seen.
On the ground up the middle and through for a base hit. Runners will go station to station. It's taken just 3 pitches for 2 to reach, and both via single.
Yeah, they're jumping on Kimberly early. It's a battle between two really young left-handed pitchers here. For ASU, it was Barrett. For GCU, it's Cody Kimberly, who has only made 1 start this year, and that was a midweek game a couple weeks ago against Arizona, a game that GCU actually won, although Kimberly only lasted 3 innings, got roughed up a little bit here and there, and ASU roughing him up through the first 2 hitters already. It's Landon Harrison to start off a game lefty-lefty and just take the first pitch opposite field to the left center gap. That's pretty impressive hitting, and Harrison has continued to impress through every ASU game.
First pitch to Rolig, just a touch outside at 80 from the lefty Kimberly. Rolig has had the hot hand perhaps more than any other Sun Devil other than Landon Harrison. Second pitch just in at 81. 2-0 now to Rolig. 12 for 20 in the recent going for him. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, they lost New Contradas, who's hitting .396 with 5 home runs, and Rolig has come in and proceeded to hit .393 through his tally on the season.
2-0 fastball in there for a strike.
They're hardly dropping off any in production from that hot corner.
And Willie Bloomquist said that Contrada should be back relatively soon. I wouldn't be surprised if he suited up and started on Friday, but we'll see. 2-1 pitch, and at the hands, and it misses at 85. Hitters count here for Rolig. Again, a freshman in Cody Kimberly. It's just his 3rd start out of Riverside, California. Looks back to the runner on second. That pitch fouled away just to the right of us here in the broadcast booth. and out of play here at Phoenix Muni. Count runs full.
A lot of off-speed early there. He threw the fastball, got up to 89 right on the hands of Austin Rolig, and couldn't do much with it, but foul it off. His counterpart in Easton Barrett got 3 ground balls in the top half of the inning. He could really use one of those to roll 2 for his GCU defense behind him.
Including one with a full count. Here's the pitch. In there, called strike 3. Rolig stood there like a statue, watched it whiz by into the glove of Galvin. So there's one down, a big hold for Kimberly, which brings up another potent left-handed batter in Dean Toigo.
It's got to be awful to face this ASU lineup as a true freshman pitcher. I mean, you name an offensive stat, and ASU's probably, they're at least top 50, probably even top 20, top 15, top 10 in a few stats. They're 6th in the nation in slugging percentage, top 10 in home runs as well, and they're taking advantage of one of the more hitter-friendly parks in the country.
Fastball outside at 89 to Toigo. Let's take the viewers, or let's take the listeners rather, through these numbers. I mean, 336 average as a team. That's 13th best in the nation. You mentioned the slugging. Home runs, they have just a couple under 40, as another fastball is in there for a strike at 89 to level the count. Harrison with 8, the man at the plate also with 8. It's been a terrific, terrific start for Toigo and his first go-around as a Devil. Lefty-lefty matchup, still 2 on. 1-1 pitch, ripped, but caught at first base. And will they go for 2? Yes, they do. The throw over to the shortstop in Sanders is able to catch Landon Harrison, who is overzealous after the line drive from Dean Toigo. So this inning brought to a halt real quick. And Kimberly doesn't face the minimum, but gets out unscathed. No score through 1. Top 2 on the other side here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Top of the second here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. The sun has gone down. The sky picture perfect. Not a single cloud and not a single star quite yet. But boy, is it absolutely gorgeous. Easton Barrett back on the bump. Southpaw on the first pitch. Deals a little low and away at 75. He faces Cannon Peary in the 5 spot. Rather, in the 4th spot. Hitting .270 on the young campaign. 13 ribbies, 4 long balls. Next pitch, in there for a strike. Clips the outer half at 89. Barrett again talked about his inflated ERA at 13.5. His 5th appearance, his 3rd start, his first in a month as well, as the next pitch is bounced. Nikolai keeps it in front of him. 2 balls and a strike.
Cannon Perry here for GCU, the power threat, one of them at least in this lineup from the cleanup spot. 4 home runs. He also tied for the lead on the team with 4 stolen bases as well, so a little bit dual threat action there.
Lefty kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Got the righty in the box way out in front. Puts the count level, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield and outfield at normal depth behind their lefty. Barrett fans the glove in front of his face, fires down to home, gets him out in front, and another breaking ball. The ball bounced, they throw it down to first to avoid the drop third strike. So that will be the first strikeout for the Southpaw Easton Barrett tonight.
Yeah, another breaking ball in the dirt, but this time it was a competitive pitch rather than one that bounced 50 feet from the mound, and Peary goes chasing.
Absolutely. That sequence included a slew of breaking balls that was able to fool Peary. That brings up Jose Lopez. Third baseman for the Lopes, takes a little inside, right at the knees. 77 from the left arm of Barrett. Lopez hits on the right side, hitting .238. 1 homer through 21 games for the Lopes. Next pitch bounced in the dirt at 92, eclipsing his fastest pitch before, which was just 90 through a little over a frame. After Lopez, it'll be Dominic Chacon, the designated hitter, followed by Gunnar Pinscover. There are 3 Dominics in the lineup tonight, total on both sides. 2-0 pitch, a little inside and low at 90. Hitters count, a very friendly one here for Lopez. We have Dominic Smaldino, Dominic Longo hitting back-to-back in the Sun Devil order, and here is the aforementioned Dominic Chacon. 3-0 pitch, that's in their first strike over the heart of the plate at 90.
A lot of Italian representation on a St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, Koby.
Yes, likewise. To a fellow Irishman sitting to my left. The next pitch in there for a strike right at the knees. Catches the outer black at 91.
A lot of green in the stands. I think they did a St. Patty's Day themed giveaway. Some kind of bat, I heard. Broadcasters don't get those usually, though.
And drinking beer out of the bat, too.
Yeah, broadcasters
like
don't get to do
deal
that
on a Tuesday
either.
night. 3-2 pitch, a little low. So now Lopez tosses the bat over to the dugout. Got a little overzealous the first time. And that will be the first issued walk on both sides. First base runner for the Lopes. And Pinscover will now dig in from the left side.
This is where I'm interested to see how Easton Barrett responds to a walk like that. In his first 3 outings, mentioned that all 3 of them featured at least 3 free passes issued by him. Those walks started to mount on him, and he would kind of start spiraling in this little snowball effect after that first walk. So we'll see if he can rebound after that one as he misses with the first pitch.
Yeah, that first pitch not close, rather. I combined close and low for clo. It's a new word. Short lead at first for Lopez. The next pitch, that one's ripped right field. Converging, can he make the grab? Yes, he can. Right at his shoestrings, and they try to go for 2. No! The throw over to Smaldino was just not in time. Great grab by Toigo, who sprinted in. That shoestring catch, fired it to first just a little late. We saw a double play on one side for the Lopes. They could have turned 2 to end this frame, but instead, another lifeline with Sanders ready to dig in.
Lineout had Toigo coming hard in, and because of that, it was going to be very hard to stop on a dime, plant the feet, and fire one over to first base. So he had to fire on the run. That's a long throw to make on the run, even for an outfielder, and that allowed that split second for Lopez to get back.
First pitch in there for a strike at 76. Clips the lower half of the zone to Gunnar Pinscover. Still looking for his first RBI. He'd be in prime position to get a number in that category, maybe with a stolen bag here. As the next pitch, mirror image of the one before at 75, nothing in 2, 76 to 75 on that breaking ball from Barrett.
Mentioned in the lineup announcement, Pinscover is that two-way player for GCU. He's a true sophomore from here in Phoenix, Arizona. Had 7 starts on the mound last year as a freshman. Doesn't have a whole lot of action from the plate.
Runner takes off, the pitch low and away. The throw down, not in time. It was well high for Mutsaritas at shortstop. So that'll be a stolen base for Jose Lopez. And a 0 in the RBI column for Pinskover. Gives him more an opportunity here to break open that 0 in the score column. 2 strikes on him, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 2. Did he break the plane? Breaking ball. First base umpire Jason Rogers said he held up. Count now even at 2-2.
It's a good pitch by Barrett. He's thrown strikes from that walk. Got the line out. 2-strike count here.
A heavy dose of breaking balls here in the top of the second. 2-2 pitch, ripped foul. First base side. Maybe a souvenir for the kids. It looks like it was heading towards the concession stand.
I like where Barrett's put that fastball tonight. Lefty that throws low nines. Knows he can't beat you with velocity over the plate, so he hasn't put it over the plate, and he's got that crossfire delivery right in on the hands of these right-handed hitters.
Look down to the runner on second and swung on and missed for strike 3. Another breaking ball that started at eye level, dipped all the way down under the bat of Pinskover. So that'll do it. Not quite, again, a 1-2-3 inning for Easton Barrett, but he gets out of it, allowing another 0 on the score column for the Antelopes. We'll be right back. Bottom of the second when we return. Heart of the order up for the Devils.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday.
Dominic Smaldino starts things off in the bottom of the second. The Sun Devils looking to score and break open what has been solid pitching so far on both sides. Smaldino rips one left center field down for a base hit. Dunks right in front of Pinskover. He's trying to head for 2. Is he in there? No, he's not. It was a late charge by the big man who was rumbling from first. The 6'6" Smaldino can't get in there in time. A good relay turn by Pinskover to Sanders to Senko to get him stretching an extra bag.
Eyes lit up as soon as it left the bat for Smaldino. By the way, ASU scouting report is very clearly jump on things early from the young lefty and Kimberly, but it's exactly what Smaldino did. Line one into left center field. He almost got bailed out. Shortstop for GCU, Sanders there should not have cut that baseball. It was right on line to the second base bag. He would have been out by a mile with no cut. Still, though, they get him by just an inch, cutting the baseball off.
1-0 pitch off the top of the bat. Weird bounce over the first baseman who steps on the bag in time. That was Peary to retire Dominic Longo. That is 2 quick outs when you thought most definitely it would be a man on first with nobody out. Turns into 2 outs in the blink of an eye. Dominic Smaldino, not your typical speedy runner, right? I mean, it's your behemoth of a first baseman, again, standing at 6'6". Could not stretch an extra bag.
Yeah, he's used to getting extra base hits, putting balls over the wall or off the wall.
Right.
Tried to steal one there for a stat sheet.
Kai McGarry fouls it back to the screen.
You won't see a whole lot of managers get mad about those situations. Stretching a double, trying to stretch a double into a triple with nobody out to start an inning, that's another story, but I doubt Smaldino will get too big of a talking to trying to get a runner on second to lead off an inning.
0-1 from the freshman lefty, and an excuse me swing from Kai McGarry. McGarry pounding his chest, looking towards the dugout, saying, yeah, was not committed on that one. Could this pitch do it to end the frame? 0-2 to McGarry. Yes, it will. An identical spot at 84, getting McGarry to chase. Another inning that ends in a hurry. Self-inflicted wounds for the Devils on a base-running blunder from Dominic Smaldino after a single brings this inning to an end. Two frames gone, and no score on the board. Top of the third on the other side here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like...
Rolling right now from Tempe with the sky fully down. It is pitch black. The lights converge onto this beautiful stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. Lefty-righty matchup to start the top of the third. Easton Barrett now down to Troy Sanders in the 8-hole. Beautiful breaking ball, tap foul, directly to the left of home plate. Last time out for Sanders, 1 for 4, including an RBI single for the shortstop. And it was a victory against St. Mary's, their second of the weekend against the Gales, 6-3. And again, this past weekend they played two different teams at home. That next pitch hit high in the air. Looks like it's trending foul first base side. And it will. Dunk it into the seats. About parallel with the first base bag. It was a 6-3 victory for the Lopes. They won 2 close matchups against the Gales, but they dropped 2 against Rice.
They probably wish they would have just made that a 4-game series against St. Mary's instead of bringing Rice
Have you ever seen that?
I don't know if I have it. They hosted all 4 games.
Yeah, and it wasn't
against 2 different teams.
It wasn't sponsored by any company organization, as that fastball from Barrett misses at 91. I was almost seeing, I was like, all right, what is the name of this classic, right? Especially it was 2 non-conference teams that came into Phoenix. But I didn't see it was under any moniker. 1-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. 89 on a 4-seam heater for Barrett. 6 down Sanders, and we'll bring up the 9-hole hitter in Max Charles. Back-to-back strikeouts, and 3 so far through 2 1/3 for the southpaw hurler and Barrett.
Yeah, the young lefty looks really good so far. Back-to-back strikeouts, as you mentioned, and this is probably what Willie Bloomquist is going for. If he wants to get Barrett back into that starting rotation at some point in the end of the year, he's got to get his confidence back up from a starting position. So, yeah, great. 1, 2, 3 innings out of relief. against Loyola Marymount is awesome, but that's not going to help you put him back into games as a starter. And performance like this, if you can keep it going for a couple more innings against GCU in a midweek game, that'll do just that.
Gets back ahead with a slider. Here to the aforementioned Charles, hitting just 148 on the season. The next pitch just a bit outside at 84 on what looked like another slider from Barrett. After Charles, the Lopes would return to the top of the lineup for the second time, where Barrett sat down the first 4 batters, one of them being a strikeout. 1-1 pitch, fastball ripped on the ground, foul, first base side.
This fastball really jamming these right-handed hitters for GCU.
It's got a lot of rise.
That one was in the upper 80s on the radar gun, but it doesn't matter. GCU not been able to get the barrel around quick enough against Barrett first time through.
A lot of them high and tight on the hands. Hard to square any pitch like that up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Lefty hurler deals. That one is cracked. Whistled foul off the light pole. Off the light pole. Third base side. Just out of the way of a lot of the fans sporting different colors tonight because, again, it is St. Patrick's Day. Not just your typical maroon and gold or purple that the Lopes are sporting, but some green and yellow sprinkled in as well. The 1-2 pitch whistled on the ground right in front of the Sun Devil dugout. They do have protective netting under them to cover their lower bodies. Charles was 1 for 4 against the Gales in that final matchup on Sunday, including a double. Another 1-2 on the way. Fastball at 88 misses low and outside. A lot of extra base hits for the Lopes in that game. Charles had a double. Chacon had a double. Lopez had a homer and a double, including his first of his college career. There was a triple and another homer in that one. 2-2 pitch, bounced. Didn't even hit the dirt in front of home plate. It hit the grass. I call it a cricket pitch. That was cricket 101 right there. Another breaking ball that missed incredibly low.
And earlier in the at-bat, that hard hit foul ball off the foul pole, that was a breaking ball that didn't break a whole lot, stayed right over the heart and got lucky on. So not finding that one in this at-bat.
Full count offering in there for strike 3, cut on and missed. So that's another strikeout back-to-back for Barrett. He got tagged a couple times, but nothing in fair territory. 4 strikeouts for the lefty, who is dealing, and that brings up the dangerous leadoff hitter who's able to send down via the ground out in Jake Sanko.
That's textbook, Koby. Curveball not working for you. Just throw 93 by him. Hardest fastball of the night from Easton Barrett.
A lot of oomph on that one. Goes back to the breaker to start things off with Sanko, delivers low at 74. Again, a heavy dose of breaking balls from the lefty. Certainly his bread and butter. Can't blow it past you with 98 or 99 like Cole Carlone does on the left side. That breaking ball in on the hands. And first base umpire Jason Rogers said that Sanko did not break the plane. Moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes.
Barrett can retire Sanko here. He has a chance to be done with 3 innings, his first 3 innings, and under 50 pitches, which is quite the feat for him with how much he was struggling with that command early going into the season.
Lefty rocks and fires low. His second 3-ball and no strike count of the night. First time that happened, he walked Jose Lopez on the next pitch. Ready in the box, Sanko twirls his bat. Most likely will leave it on the shoulders, and yes, he will. That fastball bounced at 88. That'll be the second walk issued by Barrett in 4-pitch fashion.
Broadcaster jinx. 3 straight strikeouts. Start talking about his pitch count low. Start talking about his command issues going away, and then he walks a guy in 4 straight. But
do you believe in that? Do you believe in the baseball gods of like saying perfect, trying to not say perfect game or a no-hitter going on?
I think baseball is just naturally superstitious. I mean, I know when I played, if I had a good day at the plate, I'm trying to think back to that day. What did I do? How did I put my socks on? How did I put my pants on? What did I do?
What did you eat for breakfast?
What did I do in warm-ups? And I'm replicating. And I think a lot of baseball players do that same thing. And so, yeah, I think there's a little bit of that when you're broadcasting. The broadcaster jinx, though, I think it shows itself the most when you're like setting up a field goal or in football and then you miss it, and talk about how a guy's money
Free
from
throw
extra
line,
points,
they're
free
8 for
throw
8 from
line
the line.
especially. It's like this guy's shooting 94% from the line. That's not the guy you want to foul. All of a sudden he goes 0 for 2 at the charity stripe. So that's when I noticed it the most in terms of broadcaster jinx. But absolutely the baseball gods believe in superstition.
So following a quick mound visit between Barrett and Nikolai, the catcher, Barrett stepped off to try to check on Senko, who reached just now on a walk. Yeah, I'm not this superstitious type as well. I played baseball not at the high school level, but early on as Barrett throws over once more to no avail. You know, I'm not consistently saying if there's 20 up, 20 down, you know, each and every pitch necessarily, but it's certainly very magical. It's very magical whether you're tuning in and listening, you're watching at home, or you're here in the stands. Another throw over for Barrett. That will be his last one that he can do consecutively because of the pitch clock. 3 in a row. Now he must throw down to home. We'll see if Senko will budge on first. Barrett, a long look down to first. Now comes down to home. Beautiful front door breaking ball to the southpaw at the dish, and Marcus Galvin. There were 3 straight groundouts in the top of the first. 1 to third, 1 to second, and 1 to first, respectively. If they can get there, Billy Scaldaferri on deck. Lefty comes home again. Another breaking ball. Front door action at 76. Dips down low and catches a swing of Galvin. Now 0-2.
First one, no swing. Galvin didn't look like he recognized it out of the hand at all, and then kind of proved that on the second pitch there, way out in front, wave and a miss. If I'm Barrett, I'm not throwing anything different here on 0-2.
Going to step off again, looking for a deceptive pickoff move. As we always know, lefties are incredibly accurate and very timely on those moves.
Senko, 3 stolen bases on the year, has also been caught twice.
GCU not nearly aggressive as Arizona State, but they've hiked their total up. Another throw down to first. That's 2 consecutively. The other end of a couple pitches, preceded by 3 straight pickoff attempts. With this new pitch clock rule, the maximum that you can do in a row is 3, which I love because it keeps the pace rolling on here from Tempe. Runner goes, breaking ball was rocketed right into the glove of Smaldino. Smaldino at first struts over to the dugout, rolled the ball behind him, and almost stood a look away from his pitcher saying, "I got you, partner." We're through 2.5 here in Tempe. No score on the board. Lopes still don't have a hit. The Sun Devils have 3, but have stranded a pair. We'll see what they can do here in the bottom of the third to change the tide here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12?
Bottom 3 here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. zeros across the board, as the first pitch is a little low and away to the catcher, Cohen Nikolai. Cody Kimmerly has been working very efficiently so far. Southpaw misses high and away at 89. 2 balls and no strikes. Has allowed, those 3 hits, except Smaldino was caught trying to swipe an extra bag on a single. 3-0, and all 3 pitches not even close to the zone. Remaining patient is Nikolai, who's up to the dish for the first time. Will be followed by Beckett Zavorik, who's in the double leadoff spot. That brings things back to the top, and Harrison. 3-0 pitch, clips the zone, low at 90. Right at the knees. Infield and outfield playing at normal depth. Umpire calls quick time. Alex Ortiz is the man in black with the mask. Sanders at shortstop playing deep into the hole. Everyone else at normal depth. 3 balls and a strike. The next pitch is ripped down the left field line. Can it stay fair? No. It hooked foul and was well out of here if he squared it up. A rocket.
That's where Cody Kimmerly on the mound takes a deep breath and realizes just a long strike. Got back into the count. It was 3-1. Now it's 3-2. I got the control, the advantage back, and I think it's been a good job for him. He got down 3-0, but he definitely made an effort not to throw one of those meatballs to start the count.
Payoff pitch, though, not close. That will be the first drawn walk by the Sun Devils. They start with a base runner. And this time last inning, it looked to be the same fashion that the Sun Devils would start the inning, except again, Smaldino tried to stretch an extra bag in a single, and it totally twisted around the newfound momentum for the Devils. Now can they build upon that with 1 duck on the pond? Here's Beckett Zavorik. The righty pops one up to the screen behind home plate. 0-1.
Zavorik's a guy ASU love to get going a little bit more at the plate. His numbers look pretty modest compared to the rest of the guys he shares the lineup with. Hitting .255, that's nothing to scoff over. Baseball's a hard sport, but they could get him going and really turn into that second leadoff spot in the 9-hole.
Kimmerly with a curveball that misses away, or rather, it clipped the zone at 79. Certainly looked like it was on the opposite end of the batter's box. And Zavorik did not budge, so down in an 0-2 count. Runner on first is Nikolai. Not a ton of speed. Lefty deals in the stretch. A little low and away at 77. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We talked about the inexperience of Kimmerly. Just his 3rd ever collegiate start. His 5th ever appearance donning the gray and purple. That pitch grounded over to the left side. They turn for 1. Can they turn for 2? Yes, they can in 6-4-3 fashion. When the Sun Devils get somebody on, it is erased immediately. Any sort of movement on the base pass. Sends down too quickly to bring up the leadoff batter in Harrison. You would have loved at least 1 on, instead you get none.
Already the second double play turn by this GCU defense tonight, and it's a team that has turned 18 double plays coming into tonight, ranking top 25 in the country. So it's something they do very well, and it's already shown in the first 3 innings here tonight.
Harrison swung at the first pitch, but looked at a breaking ball in the strike zone at 79. His average now up to 425. He roped a single into left center in the first. The next pitch, big caught on and missed, swinging for the fences, and was well under a breaker at 78. So this aggressive approach has not changed in the slightest for Harrison. That first breaking ball called for a strike. Flirted without the strike zone. That ball put on the ground up the middle and threw for a base hit in the center. Landon Harrison takes an 0-2 curveball through the middle and into center field. So a little 2-out rally perhaps for the Devils.
He's a big leaguer, Koby. He is the one guy in this lineup that I look at his approach at the plate, and it's like that is going to translate, especially as he grows into his power a little bit more. And it's a guy that has 8 home runs this year, but just that, he knows 0-2. I'm not hitting this one over the wall. I'm going to get a breaking ball. He stays on it. He stays through it. Just finds barrel enough to get it up the middle.
Fastball at 85, missed a little low. Good stop from Galvin behind the dish. Yeah, no doubt Harrison is the biggest and most ready pro prospect on this Devil squad. He is an absolute joy to watch night in and night out.
And he's part of big league blood. Dad played.
Grandfather played as well.
Grandfather played as well, yep.
Scott Harrison was a long time, over 10-year veteran, including many years with the Los Angeles Angels. Harrison is next up. He's not just next up in the bloodline, right, but he's next up on the diamond. I mean, you talk about the power. Tied with Dean Toigo with 8 on the team, but towards the top 10 in the entire country. And coming into the weekend series against TCU, his average home run was over 413 feet. I mean, when he catches it, it goes a long, long way. And a home run can come in many different fashions. It can come in the form of a 330-foot bloop that just rises over the wall, or it could be an absolute no-doubter. And we've seen plenty of those off the left side of Harrison. 2-0 pitch ripped. Is it fair? No, just barely foul, tailed and died like a quail to the left of the line.
Harrison's got a lot of speed, too. 7 bags on the season. We were about to see it there as well. He was ready to score on that potential double in the corner. Instead, just foul, and Harrison has to return to first base. But, I mean, he's a leadoff hitter, Koby. He's been there pretty much all year. He's 5th in the conference in RBIs as a leadoff hitter.
29. He's been outstanding.
And part of that is a credit to the ASU lineup as a whole, but Harrison just has a knack for getting guys home when peeps are on the bases in front of him.
Yeah, guy in the 4 spot, and Dean Toigo, I'm sure, has driven in Harrison plenty of times, and Harrison has done the same for the back half of the lineup. 3 balls and a strike. Next pitch on the way, a little high, just above the letters at 89. So no on with 2 outs to 2 on with 2 gone. Harrison moves to second. Bootsaritas now on first, and that'll bring up Austin Rolig, who struck out his first time up, but again is one of the hottest hitters in all the Big 12 Conference, as we're going to get a mound visit, the first of its kind on either side from a member of the coaching staff, as the entire infield and their pitching coach converge on the mound.
I haven't seen any action in the Grand Canyon bullpen. However, that's not the case over there in the right field bullpen for ASU. Talked about Easton Barrett going 3 innings tonight. Right around 50 pitches. We'll see how long his leash is in terms of working him back up as a starter. And it's really not even back up because his only 2 starts of the year, he was pulled so early on in that game due to the walk issues. So,
yeah, he had as high as 6 that he issued in one game, including 4 in his last start. And under 3 innings pitched. That is not efficiency. Certainly in the score column and what you can see with the naked eye as an observer as well. All right, that quick mound visit adjourned. Lefty-righty matchup. Kimmerly down to Rolig. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 3rd. First pitch out in front went Rolig. Barely tapped it to the back netting. Falls in the count 0-1. Was not an everyday infielder. Was shifted over to 3rd, even though New Contradas has normally been in the hot corner the past couple of years. He's moved over to 2nd, but they did some shifting in lieu of that injury with Rolig over at 3rd. The next pitch, the 0-1, high and tight, breaking ball at 76, can't catch the zone. Contradas is a huge miss and a huge loss in the order, but we know it's temporary, and we know that for sure. Willie Bloomquist has confirmed that on numerous occasions. 1-1 pitch just outside at 84 from Kimmerly.
I'm sure all ASU fans were like, here we go again, when they saw Contradas roll into second base a few weeks ago, grabbing at that hammy. He's a guy that has just had an injury-ravaged career here, a career that had the makings of one of the best ones in program history without all the injuries.
Pitch off the end of the bat and flown out into right field. It's no problem for Scaldaferri. All right, so 2 left on base for the Devils in this inning and make it 4 for the game. They've had their chances, especially with 2 outs, but still nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. The Lopes with a big fat 0, the Devils with a big fat 0 as we reach the top of the 4th on the other side of this break here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Top of the 4th here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and a job well done for Easton Barrett. His start is over. We'll now watch the rest of the game from the Sun Devil dugout first base side. And entering is a righty, Jaden Alba, a junior from California, who pitched this time last week in relief against the University of Arizona. I'll get on that line in just a little bit as the first pitch at 93. A little bit of a different mix you'll get here from Alba. Misses as he faces Billy Scaldaferi. Alba did not record a single out in 3 batters faced last week against the Wildcats. The Sun Devils did get the victory, but he let up 2 hits, including a home run as well to the Wildcats as a breaking ball clips the zone at 83 to level the count.
Alba started the year as the piggyback guy to Easton Barrett, not out of a intention, but out of necessity after Barrett walked all those guys. Alba came in and did a terrific job, so Willie Bloomquist put him in as a starter in Arlington, and he really got roughed up against Texas A&M and has since struggled to find his rhythm, as you mentioned, the rough outing against Arizona.
Righty to righty here in the top of the 4th. Alba kicks and deals. That one driven deep into right center field, but not deep enough. Right at the warning track, no problem for Dominic Longo. It looked good off the bat, but just died there in right center field. Not hit to the deepest part of the park. And Longo able to make the grab with ease. So 1 down quickly, and Alba now faces the cleanup batter in Cannon Peary. So the final line for Easton Barrett, again, pretty stellar considering his form coming into the day as a starter. 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts for the redshirt sophomore. First pitch from Alba in there, right at the knees. At 75 from Alba. I think the important thing that Barrett can walk away from is his walk total wasn't significantly high, as another pitch from Alba is just a little bit low. Drew a swing, and he went around, said first base umpire Jason Rogers.
Yeah, I think you'll take 2 walks in 3 innings, especially 3 hitless and scoreless innings if you're Easton Barrett in your first start back. And know William Bluequist will as well in that dugout, and he didn't stack them. He was able to work around them in different innings.
Absolutely. Able to work out of a little jam each and every time. 0-2 pitch, hit on the ground, over to short. Mutsaritas all the way in the hole. Misses the bag on the throw, but Smaldino, a beautiful tag. Almost like he was delivering a behind-the-back pass, Stockton-esque from Smaldino, able to tag out Peary. 2 down real quick here in the top of the fourth.
Every great infield needs a great defensive first baseman. It's not complete without him, and Smaldino did a great job knowing when to vacate that bag and applying the tag just in the nick of time. And it's a good job by Mutsaritas, too, everything but the throw. He was charging in and then realized that chopper had a little bit more zip than he thought initially, so got back on his back foot and made a strong enough throw to get there in time to retire Peary for out number 2.
Another righty-righty matchup to Jose Lopez, who takes down and away at 92. It certainly helps when you have such an enormous wingspan from your first baseman in Smaldino.
It's a big fellow over there.
Yeah, your throw just a hair off, and he'll be able to corral it whether you're stepping on the bag or not, tag you out too. 1-0 is just a bit inside at 74 from Alba, mixing it up nicely here to the first couple batters, and this aggressive approach from both sides has continued in the early going. Lopez reached on a walk in the second. Still no hits yet for the Lopes. The next pitch swung on and missed at 93 into the glove of Nikolai. Puts the count at 2-1. Lopez, a freshman, he hit his first collegiate bomb of his career this past weekend. Righty kicks and deals, swing and a miss. 93, lower half of the zone. You saw 93 the last pitch, but moving the eye level down was Alba beautifully. Now you see it, now you don't. Count even up at 2. Infield and outfield behind Alba, waiting patiently. Alba in the stretch, nobody on. 2-2 count. Swung on and missed again at 82. Nikolai tagged Lopez for good measure. That is an excellent, excellent first inning in relief for Jaden Alba following last week's outing against the Arizona Wildcats. Still no score through 3.5. Who will break open the deadlock? The Devils have the next chance, and we'll see what they can do offensively on the other side. The bottom of the fourth when we continue here on Blaze YouTube.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's stomach issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Bottom of the fourth here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. We got a dud so far, at least offensively, but pitching-wise, we have certainly seen some dazzling action, whether it's Easton Barrett or Jaden Alba or Cody Kimmerly, a young freshman for the Lopes that gets out ahead 0-1 to Dean Toigo. Big power hitter from the left side. The next pitch on the ground over to shortstop. And Sanders is able to retire Toigo, throws him out. Toigo has to settle for 0 for 2. He lined out his first time over into right field. It was caught by Scaldaferri, and then there was a double play with a great throw over to second.
I've been ultra impressed with Cody Kimley. This is now going to be his longest outing of the season, working into the fourth inning as the starter. And just like we talked about Barrett working around a couple of walks, Kimley's worked around a ton of traffic, 4 base hits that he's gotten the help of his defense with 2 double plays behind him. But that's a sign of a guy that doesn't panic under pressure with runners around him and knows how to get strikes in there to result in those ground ball double plays.
Smaldino rips one on the ground, just foul, third base side. Flirting with the white chalk over there. Smaldino hitting .328. He's 1 for 1. He singled into left center field, but then credit to the impeccable defense once more after a great relay from Pinskover in left, Sanders at shortstop, to Senko down at second base. Able to get Smaldino stretching an extra bag as Smaldino struck out. High and tight pitch at 90. First base umpire Jason Rogers said he broke the plane. So again, 2 gone in the blink of an eye, it seems like. Some of these at-bats have not been uncompetitive, but it certainly will seem like it when you look at the scoring column and see how many pitches Kimley has thrown. For 3 2/3 of stellar baseball. Faces a righty and Dominic Longo, who takes just away at 84. 1-0 to the righty, who's hitting .300. Grounded out to third in the second, his first time up. The next pitch popped up, but it will find the seats first base side. Level with the first base bag.
That Toigo ground out to start us here. It's the first time ASU has not had their leadoff runner in an inning reach base. Obviously, though, one of those was the Smaldino single that resulted in a failed double and an out to start the inning. But this time, ground out, strikeout to begin, and now he'll look for his first 1-2-3 inning.
Another pitch whistled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kimley, pitch number 46 on the way. The lefty kicks and deals, a little low and inside at 80. Bumps the count to 2-2. No score here from Tempe. 0 runs on 0 hits and no errors for the Lopes. 0 runs on 4 hits and no errors for the Devils. 2-2 pitch on the way. High and away at 86. See 2 different fastballs on display from Kimley. A 4-seam that has reached as high as 91 and a 2-seam that reached 86 just now. Grounded up the middle, going to be a tough play for the shortstop, in and out of the glove of Sanders. It was on the transfer when he bobbled it. Most likely will be ruled a base hit, considering it was hit into no man's land up the middle. And another, what seems like 2-out base hit. Yep, on the scoreboard it's reflected as a hit. And so the Devils keep the inning going. Kai McGarry awaits.
Not a hard hit ball by any means, but one that found the right spot on the field, right up the middle. Got past the pitcher in Kimley, and shortstop Sanders is playing really far away from that up the middle, really close to the third base bag, I should say, and couldn't get over there in time to field it cleanly.
McGarry took a healthy hack, fouled it back to the netting, 0-1. McGarry in a small sample size, hitting .400, has all the speed in the world. He started on Friday against TCU in center field, was eventually replaced, and tonight draws the start in the designated hitter position. 2 out, a long look from Kimley down to first. Ooh, and it hit the elbow. Looked like exactly on the elbow guard of McGarry, who shook it off no problem and took the jog down to first. The last 2 innings, the Devils have stranded a pair. They don't want to put that total to 3. They want to capitalize right here and now with Cohen Nikolai getting set to dig in against the lefty. So now on second is Longo, and on first is McGarry. Big leads from the 2 of them. Kimley kicks and deals outside, but catches the zone at 82.
A little bit of a reversal here in terms of how the inning is played out for Kimley. First 3, early traffic, worked around jams, got out of it. Now here in the 4th, gets the first 2 guys, and now is at danger of allowing some 2-out magic here for ASU.
Long look down to second. The 0-1 cracked, but high in the air off the end of the bat, right center field, and shallow into no man's land, and diving and making the grab, the right fielder Scaldaferri. It was headed for that Bermuda Triangle. The second baseman there, the right fielder there, the center fielder even there, and it was Scal DeFerry who cleaned up the mess. That's now 6 left on base. A pair stranded in 3 consecutive innings for the Devils as you roll on with no score here in Tempe, Arizona, the top of the 5th, with Jaden Alba taking the ball in his 2nd inning of relief when we return here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's stomach issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the big...
So it's the junior Jaden Alba who takes the ball once more on the hill for the Devils. Still no score, and the Antelopes still looking for their first base hit as well. Dominic Chacon digs in against the righty. First pitch, looked like a juicy breaking ball. Clips the outer half of the zone at 83, but a big windup from Chacon. The Devils in the infield shift just a little bit. There's some room between the third baseman Rollig and that third base bag, so up the line could certainly do some damage. The next pitch, another healthy hack, 0-2 to Chacon. Only 2 base runners able to reach. Lopez and Jake Senko, respectively. The next pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. 85, nice slider there from Jaden Alba. Able to retire him with the minimum. Infield now retreats back to normal depth. Facing a righty here in Gunnar Koby. He's 0 for 1, was one of Barrett's strikeout victims. Alba with a 12-6 curveball that missed above the zone at 73. Alba has done a really good job so far in an inning and a third. 2 strikeouts for the man out of California. 1-0 pitch. He broke the plane, said our home plate umpire Alex Ortiz. I think the key for the Devils, obviously we know they've been efficient because they haven't allowed a single hit and a single run, just to keep 3 ball counts at a minimum. 1-1 delivery, chop foul third base side. Another breaking ball, just swinging over the top of it are the Lopes, whether it's a swing and miss or just a late swing.
Alba looks really sharp right here. I think safe to say he's exercised some of those demons that were bugging him in that U of A outing where he couldn't record an out even. Much more success here tonight through the first 4 hitters.
The righty digs in against Alba, waving the bat above his head. The next pitch driven off the end of the bat, right center field. This could be trouble, and it's down. It dunks in right in front of Dominic Longo. and was driven and muscled into right field with some power, even though that pitch was well inside. Did a great job of being able to just connect with it. Laser focused.
Another one of those broadcast jinxes from me, Koby, and that breaks up the no-hitter that ASU was working on, the combined no-hitter through 4 1/3.
Through 4 1/3. Not even halfway through. You're good. Not the most superstitious up here. So now 1 on, 1 out. Alba, as he always does, still works in a stretch. Fires down to home plate. First pitch is put into play. Shallow left field. Going to be a tough one, and it dunks in front of both Harrison and behind the play, Moutsouridis. 2 on in a heartbeat. 2 consecutive singles from the bottom half of the order. And Pinscover and Sanders. And that brings up now the 9-hitter, Max Charles. And we'll see what the Devils do. Obviously, on first base, Maldino will be manning the bag. And it looks like everyone else at normal depth except Rolig at third base, playing parallel with the bag, a little bit more in than normal. Alba looked down to second. First pitch to Charles, who showed bunt but pulled back with the pitch just a bit low at 74.
That was one of those really deceptive hits off the bat of Sanders, one of those where the swing looks really good and the initial trajectory looks really good, and Harrison in left field took a couple steps back right off the bat, and then realized, oh crap, that was off the end of the bat and had to race in, not in enough time.
1-0, swings away, no bunt, and drives it into right center field for a base hit. This could bring home a run, and Pinscover will touch home. Advancing to third is Sanders. This no-score deadlock has been broken open. Runners on the corners, and an RBI single for Max Charles. That brings up the dangerous, the ever-dangerous top half of the lineup, starting with Jake Senko. Max Charles delivers as Willie Bloomquist, or rather Jason Accardo, Jason Accardo, the pitching coach, will take the slow jog over to first base to try to calm down the junior reliever in Jaden Alba.
Lost a no-hitter, lost a shutout, and 3 quick hitters there, and good job by Troy Sanders going first to third as well on that hit into right center, and sets the table up pretty nicely with under 2 outs in the top of the order, and Jake Senko, one of the only Lopes hitters that have been able to do much of anything throughout the entire season. It's a little bit of a danger area here for Jaden Alba, who was cruising through those first 4 hitters until I talked about how he was cruising, and now 3 straight hits in succession for GCU.
Charles showed bunt on the first pitch, which was not close to the zone, and the second pitch was right in his power zone. Drove it out into right center field. All the Devils could do was bring it in a hurry, but one scored. And at third is Sanders. Runners on the corners here. First pitch, bunt laid down here by Senko. Alba threw it on to first, not in time. The runner scored from third. Alba did a little pump fake. I'm not sure why. That went about as bad or poor as it could go for the Devils. Everybody advances. Alba pump faked looking at his first baseman. I thought if he would pump looking at home, that would be one thing. But he pumped to his first baseman and chugging down the line with Senko, who got in there in time.
Yeah, I think that's on Zavorik there. That's poor team defense by ASU. Zavorik didn't get over from his second base position. Smaldino was crashing from the cold corner, and Alba, instead of going home, maybe Zavorik thought Alba was going to go home, and instead he is in no man's land with nobody to throw it to over at first base. It goes as another RBI hit for GCU instead of a sac bunt.
Marcus Galvin now digs in on the left side. 0-1 count after Alba delivered a curveball in the zone. Next pitch, a little low. Great stop by Nikolai, or no, it hit the inside foot of Galvin. Things are going from bad to worse. And Shay, you did a great job of explaining and analyzing what happened on the miscommunication between Alba and whoever was supposed to cover first base. It looked like on that bunt that Alba had it the whole way, but Smaldino was charging in at the same time, couldn't cover the bag at first. Do you agree with the hit calling on that one?
I would have scored that a sac bunt. I would not have given that a hit.
I agree.
Because a sac bunt doesn't require an out to be made.
Bases are juiced. Billy Scow to Ferry now is ahead 1-0 after Alba delivers a sweeper that misses.
That's another one of those tough ones where it's like, do you count mental errors like that as physical errors on the scoreboard or not?
But they counted it a hit, which I think is interesting. We'll monitor that. 1-0. Driven on the ground. Rolling steps on third. They get one, and they turn for two. Or did they?
Tag would have had to been made there after you get that force out at third. And they're going to say they don't. They're going to say he didn't step on third at all, and they get the out at home.
I see. It looked like Rolling with his momentum
I thought he stepped on
third.
the pillow as well. I was right there with you.
waiting for the crowd to erupt on that one.
I was right there with you. Instead, one out, and it's the out ASU would have preferred to have as it keeps another run off the board for GCU. So no out at third, and they get the force at home. So I misspoke there because I thought, just like you, he stepped on third over there.
Interesting. So with the bases still loaded, 2 gone. This game is moving in a hurry. I mean, the Lopes are jumping on the first and second pitch every time from Alba. Has Peary down in the count, rather ahead in the count, 1-0. It's almost more impressive for Rolig not to step on the bag with all his momentum. The bag was right in front of him. I'm shocked he didn't step on it. 1-0 pitch. Fastball clips the zone at 92 from Alba. So the Lopes had nothing to show for it in the run and hit column. They now have 4 in the inning. Most importantly, 2 runs, too. 1-1 pitch. Good stop by Nikolai with the curveball missing outside. Peary's 0 for 2. This middle half of the order is up for the second consecutive inning. Peary grounded out to shortstop his second time. Infield at normal depth. The next pitch in on the hands. Past the diving glove of Alba. Over to second. Zavorik underhand flip over to Smaldino. So the Lopes strand 3, but they will take a pair back to the field for the bottom of the 5th any day of the week. Alba struggles on the mound, able to get out of it. 2 runs come across the score. They will both be earned as Shay Moloney will take over the play-by-play duties when we return in the bottom half of the 5th with this game, a new one with the Antelopes leading 2-0 here from Phoenix Municipal Stadium.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere.
Blaze Sports Radio welcomes you back into Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Bottom of the 5th, Koby Braunstein will hand the play-by-play baton off to myself. And same pitcher for GCU throughout all these innings. Cody Kimberly has done a fantastic job, the true freshman, in just his second start of his young career. And work into the 5th inning here. Leading off for ASU is the 9-hole hitter, Beckett Zavorik, who ended the top of the 5th. With a good defensive play where he had to work around a runner to record the final out. He'll take ball 1 and then swing and misses at a fastball up in the zone to even the count at 1-1.
And it's interesting for the Devils because the arsenal of Kimberly is not anything different from what they've faced.
1-1 hit hard on the ground right to the second baseman, Jake Senko, who records the out at first base over to his big first baseman, Cannon Peary. One away in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, Kimberly, his stuff has been effective, even though he's not blowing it by you at 98, 99, which your timing becomes the utmost of importance. Instead, it's been more of the finesse that has kept these Sun Devil hitters 2 through 8, or rather 2 through 9, I should say, because Landon Harrison has been a monster at the plate. He's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. He takes strike 1 on the inside corner. First at bat of the night.
For him, it
Harrison
almost seems like he's due for an extra base hit.
Yeah, a couple of base knocks. First at bat, he was swinging first pitch. Second at bat, he got down 0-2, and it didn't matter. Another single, and he'll be down 0-2 again here. And at bat number 3, and here's the time through the order that you circle as a manager, trying to decide if you want to keep your guy in or not. 3 times through the order is usually a dangerous spot for a lot of pitchers. We'll see if that's the case for Cody Kimley, who is presumably working through the 3rd time in the order for the first time ever. And he'll miss high with a breaking ball that didn't break, 1-2.
Yeah, 2 arms getting hot beyond left field in the TCU bullpen. Can't quite catch their jersey numbers at the moment, but we'll keep you guys at home posted.
Kimley now pitching with the lead, 2-0 after GCU broke the scoreless game in the top of the 5th. Harrison reaches for a pitch above the letters, and he chops it right back to the pitcher, Kimley, who has no issue at all retiring him at first base. 2 up, 2 down to start the bottom of the 5th here as ASU tries to mount a little comeback. And they have been held in check by the freshman, Cody Kimley.
Yeah, I saw what Harrison was doing, but that was a really poor swing, well above the letters. And the most he could have done with it is maybe drive it down the left field line, but that's one of the hardest things to do as a power hitter from the left side.
Mutsurida's first pitch swinging. Hits it hard, but foul. Touch behind it. And Kimley will have the early advantage in this count as well. Mutsurida's, just like Harrison, has reached base both times. First time through, he had a single to follow Harrison's in the first inning and then walked his last time up against the left-hander.
And that double play in the first put a halt to everything with 2 runners on.
A 1 pitch just below the knees, so the home plate umpire says Alex Ortiz, and count evens back up at 1-1. And Kimley's velocity on that fastball has only continued to grow here as he's worked through now inning number 5. 62 pitches as Mutsuridas will try to keep that fair. A little flare over the third baseman's head, but it lands in foul territory. Could have been extra bases for Mutsuridas with the way he runs and the finesse he hit that baseball with, but instead it's a 1-2 count, and Kimley a strike away from retaining this 2-0 GCU lead and getting through 5 spectacular scoreless innings for the youngin. The 1-2. Mutsuridas thought about it, held up, pitch right above the belt, 2-2. Deuce is wild here from Phoenix Muni. 2-2 count, 2 outs. GCU leads by 2, and that one lifted high in the air to center field. Looks like Charles has a beat on it, and he does. Right at the base of the warning track, he puts away P.J. Mutsuridas. The first 1-2-3 inning of the night for Cody Kimley in inning number 5. We'll see if he gets trotted back out there in the 6th or not. But before, GCU will have a chance to add on. 2-0 Lopes. We're through 5 here from Phoenix Muni on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta.
Clark, step back 3. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
While others are sleeping.
Josh Butler, the new arm on the mound for ASU, taking over for Jaden Alba, who retired the first four he faced in relief of Easton Barrett, tonight's starter for the Devils, but then ran into a lot of trouble. Allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, no walks, struck out a pair, also hit a batter in his 2 innings of work. Enter the game in a 0-0 tie, will leave the game in a 2-0 disadvantage for his team, ASU, and gives way to Josh Butler, the big 6'7" Phoenix native, who has been one of the better relievers for ASU this year. The junior allowed a run in his first outing of the season and then has been money since then. First pitch swinging for Grand Canyon's Jose Lopez, and he about had his second home run of his young career. So it just went just foul, and it'll be an 0-1 count to start the 6th inning. But Butler allowed that run in his first outing of the year. Since then, just 1 run allowed in 8 in the 3rd innings.
And that pitch was tagged. It was absolutely stomped on. Very lucky that it didn't stay within the pole.
Lopez followed the great swing. Great piece of contact on the foul with a very awkward swing. And swing makes it 0-2 for Josh Butler. Hot out the gates, looking for a strikeout. Another hot shot foul, this time right into the dugout of GCU.
And Butler's been extended in outings before. Every time he's come in, it's been in relief. Longest outing, he went 2 1/3 in a win against St. John's. Allowed 2 hits and didn't allow a single run. No free passes as well. So he has the ability to be slightly extended and also be efficient. We'll see if that plays tonight.
0-2, tap foul once again, so Lopez staying alive, spoiling a couple pitches here. Walked and stole a base against Easton Barrett back in the 2nd inning. And in his lone appearance against Jaden Alba, he struck out swinging in the 4th inning. So he's had 3 plate appearances against 3 different pitchers for ASU, and he taps that one softly. It's going to be a tough play for Austin Rowland. Fields it to his side and fires just in time to get Lopez by a step.
He's got a great mentor in New Contradas over in that dugout. Contradas manned the hot corner position the last couple years, and whenever he was healthy, he had plenty of web gems, the right timing and accuracy over at third base, and on full display, Rolig did the same. I'm sure he talks Contradas' ear off just to try to gain some words of wisdom.
Now a lefty Butler will have to face, and the designated hitter tonight for GCU, Dominic Chacon, is 0 for 2 with a lineout and a strikeout. He too has faced Barrett a time and Alba a time, and now gets Josh Butler here in the top of the 6th. Grand Canyon leading 2-0. They've been out hit 5-4, but ASU has not been able to do a thing with their base runners, whereas GCU broke open finally in the 5th inning with 4 straight hits and 2 runs. Chacon takes the next one. It'll be 1-1. That one lined hard into the left field corner. Gets down in plenty of time. Harrison has to chase. Chacon looking for 2. He'll stop there with a 1-out double. Get a guy in a scoring position for Grand Canyon. Went with the pitch. Took it to left field. ASU was playing him to pull. He did no such thing and has an extra base hit for GCU as they try to add on a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, his head was perfectly on plane. Drove it out, faded towards the opposite foul pole. Gave Harrison a long run at it and easily able to advance to second base. That is about as textbook of opposite field power as you can get. And the one thing I was going to mention too is the Lopes grind out runs, and I'll get into a little bit more after this first pitch to Pensacove.
One out, runner on two now, and Pinscover swings through. An early breaking offering from Josh Butler, who now tries to strand a runner to keep this game in check for his dugout to hopefully find an offensive spark. In the bottom of the sixth and on. 0-1 pitch. Working fast is Butler, and he fouls that one off to the right side. And Pinscover down 0-2 after he was the one who got that parade of hits started. Those 4 straight hits last inning in the top of the fifth.
And going back to some of those power numbers or lack thereof for GCU, ASU with 39 home runs. 39, which is the 8th most in the entire country. And GCU with 14. They're a team that is gritty and just grinds out runs like they have today.
Swing and a miss there. Butler went to the off speed, and he got Pinscover way out in front. Much needed strikeout there after the double to make it 2 outs on the night. 7 strikeouts now for ASU pitching.
Yeah, Butler had everything in the toolbox at his disposal after getting Pinscover in an 0-2 count, and just a sweeper that started right around helmet or eye level height, dipped all the way down low opposite batter's box, and he swung right through it for the first strikeout of Butler's night.
Troy Sanders' turn, who was swinging no matter what on that offering from Butler. 50-footer, didn't matter. Sanders swings at it, but it allows the runner, Dominic Chacon, fresh off that double, to move an extra 90 feet to third. So third run of the evening, just 90 feet away now for GCU. 0-1 count to Sanders, who was 1 for 2 on the night from the 8th spot.
And he swung at that pitch, by the way, and it hit the grass. It did not hit the dirt. Didn't necessarily need that swing.
He was expecting a fastball down the middle to start his count. He did not get it. Gets a breaking ball there, floats in for a get me over strike number 2. That time Sanders kept the bat on his shoulder. And he's a strike away from being Josh Butler's second strikeout victim of his first inning of work. And he'll get it. Cold strike 3 outside corner. Home plate umpire Alex Ortiz sends Sanders packing to the dugout, and Butler will strand that double. Keeps the game 2-0 Lopes advantage as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And wouldn't you know it, Kimberly, true freshman, going back out there on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the big...
As I mentioned before we went to break, at the top of the 6th, Cody Kimley, the true freshman, making just his second start of the year, is still out there for Grand Canyon. Just 67 pitches, quite a few strikes. He's filling up the zone, and Koby, he is getting the soft contact that he needs in the moments he needs it, as Rolig fouls the first pitch off he sees.
Yeah, we'll say, I mean, the start, meaning the first time through the order or two, it can't be that surprising to Arizona State. But now third time through the order, I mean, the trust that the Grand Canyon coaching staff has on their very young freshman lefty arm is incredibly impressive.
Rolig goes the opposite way with pitch number 2, and it's going to end up being foul number 2. As it bounces down right in front of the right fielder, little bit of technical difficulties there, but we are back here on Blaze Radio from Phoenix Muni. Our board cutting out was the good luck charm ASU needed, evidently, as Dean Toigo immediately sent a missile over the right field wall to get one of those 2 runs back. So ASU down 2-1. It was followed up by a Smaldino rocket fly out to center field. Tracked down by the center fielder Charles for GCU, and it'll be 2 away, nobody on base. ASU down 2-1, and an awkward swing there by Dominic Longo to make the count 1-2. 1-1. First strike. First one was called a ball from the hand of Cody Kimberly. So just to recap, after the lost connection, Toigo home run over the right field wall to make it 2-1. Then a fly out by Smaldino to set up 2 outs, even count. Longo will be retired after a great pick over there by the first baseman, Cannon Perry, bailing out his third baseman, Lopez, on a low throw. That'll end the inning. We have played 6 here from Phoenix Muni. 2-1 GCU leads after the Toigo solo homer gets back a run.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host.
Back here, top of the 7th. Grand Canyon leads 2-1 after the Dean Toigo solo shot that you did not hear due to technical difficulties on Blaze Radio, so apologies for that, but we should be smooth sailing the rest of the way. Knock on wood, as pitch number 1 from Josh Butler here in the 7th in his second inning of relief work. Sails outside to 9-hole hitter Max Charles. The switch hitter will turn around, hit from the left side against the righty Josh Butler after opening the night from the right side against the lefty Easton Barrett. And left-handed hitting, he smashes that one into the corner, and it gets down fair and into the wall. Bounces up, ground rule double as it creeps over the top of the wall, and it'll be a leadoff double for Max Charles, his second hit of the night. Some much-needed production for the bottom half of this GCU order tonight. It was the bottom half that started the 4 hits in a row in the 5th inning off Jaden Alba to take a 2-0 lead, and now it is the 9-hole hitter Max Charles opening up the top half of the 7th with a ground rule double into the right field corner. Second inning in a row now that Josh Butler will have to work around a double with less than 2 outs. It was a 1-out double from Dominic Chacon back in the 6th inning, and now a leadoff one from Max Charles. We'll flip the order over to Jake Senko, who lays down a bunt. First pitch he sees. Roll it, will field, go to first base. Out recorded there. Runner moves up to third, so Charles 90 feet away from getting that run right back from the Dean Toigo solo shot in the bottom half of the inning for ASU. Senko was the one who laid down that bunt in the 5th inning that got called a bunt hit, an RBI bunt hit, when it's really just some miscommunication defensively for ASU. Senko was trying to sacrifice just as he did there, and Nobody was covering the first base bag. A run came home to score on the play. No out was recorded for ASU, and now it looks like Willie Bloomquist is going to his bullpen here with one away in the 7th inning. Slow trot from Willie over to the mound to give whoever's warming up out there in the ASU bullpen a few extra tosses. See if he ultimately decides to pull Butler with one away here. Runner on third after the leadoff double to start the 7th for Max Charles. Home plate umpire Alex Ortiz probably knows what Willie's doing. And he goes up to the mound. Willie tells him he's going to pull Josh Butler. It's the umpire pointing to the right field bullpen. We'll see who comes in for ASU. The night will be over for Josh Butler after an inning and a third of relief. So far, no runs allowed on him, but he's got a runner over there on third, and Max Charles after he greeted him with a double here this inning. We'll be right back on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
While others are sleeping, we are up breaking down the sports world.
The NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college football,
Koby Guy, the new arm on the mound for ASU. It's a lefty coming up to the plate of Marcus Galvin, but Willie is not going to a left-hander for him. It's the righty Koby Guy, the graduate transfer from UNC Asheville. First 2 years of his collegiate career at Jackson State, then the next 2 at UNC Asheville, and now he will finish things up for Arizona State. 4 innings out of the bullpen on the young season. Allowed 2 runs in his first outing, has been clean sheets since then. First pitch to Galvin, in there, inside corner at the knees for strike number 1.
And faced some stiff competition. Mississippi State and Texas A&M, he came in relief.
Yeah, he pitched twice in that Arlington series.
Yeah, both losses for the team, but a high for him with no runs.
0-1 to Galvin, chopped to the second baseman Zvorak. ASU was playing in. They're going to try to get the guy at the plate, and the throw will not be in time. Not enough time for Nikolai to get the tag down. It was not a forced play like ASU has gotten earlier this game. And GCU will steal another run. Small balling it together, just like you talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's one of those where Zvorak his body was contorted the other way from first. And so with something as bang-bang as that, he decided to come home and, off rip, it didn't look like there was any chance he'd be able to get him.
Go as a fielder's choice for Marcus Galvin. As first pitch, Nikolai's going to race Galvin immediately caught stealing. Galvin tried to snatch one on Koby Guy and company and gets mowed down at second base. So much needed out there for ASU to get everybody clear from the bases and get control back of this inning, as GCU has gotten that Dean Toigo home run back right. And it's 3-1. The 2-run lead is restored, and strike two swinging on Billy Scoutaferri, who hits from the 3 spot.
Yeah, defensive plays like that can erase things in a heartbeat. An absolute bullet from Nikolai. He didn't even corral the ball into his glove initially.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Billy Scoutaferri. Koby Guy gets a strikeout, and he gets ASU out of the inning. GCU gets a run back. It's 3-1 Lopes as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time from Phoenix Municipal Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Substitutions for both sides as new pitcher Billy Gregory comes in for GCU. Right-hander after the first 6 innings from the true freshman lefty, Mr. Kimley, were fantastic, and Willie Bloomquist will counter with a left-handed pinch hitter in Garrett Michelle. Michelle has been a mainstay in the ASU lineup, but got the night off, at least originally, tonight, but will now come in out of necessity as ASU is trailing 3-1 to their crosstown rivals, the GCU Lopes. After all they have to show offensively is a Dean Toigo solo home run in the last inning in the bottom of the 6th that finally ultimately chased Kimley, who had a very good start and a very early spot of his baseball career at GCU. 2-0, and Michelle will take a rip at it, fouls it off to the left side, and Billy Gregory will get the first strike he's thrown all night. A 6.23 ERA through 8 2/3 innings for Gregory on the season. Has struck out 13, though, and struggled with some walks. He's allowed 8 free passes in his 8 2/3 innings, along with 10 hits. So he's been roughed up a little bit, and ASU will try to do the same here. Good off-speed pitch, though, will even things at 2-2 to Michelle.
Yeah, started on the opposite side of the batter's box, finished over the heart of the plate. Michelle, that back foot all the way as far back on the right side of the batter's box as you can get.
2-2 pitch to Michelle. About hit him in the back foot. 3-2. This is Kai McGarry's spot in the lineup. Originally the designated hitter for ASU. Went 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a hit by pitch in his 2 plate appearances. Now Michelle, the new guy, will ultimately work a full count. Here is the 3-2 offering, and he takes upstairs. Good at bat for Michelle. Leadoff runner is on as Billy Gregory's 93-mile-per-hour fastball will miss. And we'll put a guy on for Koby Nikolai, who just mowed a runner down from the catcher position in the last inning to help ASU get out of the inning.
I was just about to say that the Sun Devils have had no problem at all starting each inning with a base runner, nobody on. But there was a 3-inning stretch, the second, third, and fourth respectively, where they stranded a pair each inning. They have to try to capitalize.
First pitch swinging for Nikolai. Is this an Oppo Taco? It is off the board in right center field, and Nikolai has evened this thing up at 3 apiece. Second homer of the year for the Oregon transfer. And we got a new ball game, Koby, at Phoenix Muni.
Oppo Taco, Taco Tuesday. That was absolutely mashed right off of the national champion sign. That message was sent.
Crowd will calm down, and Beckett Zavorik will try to do the same thing. The 9-hole here, rounding out this ASU lineup, will take ball 1 from Billy Gregory, who immediately relinquishes the lead that his true freshman starter and Kimberly got for him. There's a strike there at 91 on the fastball. It even things up at 1-1. Zavorik is grounded into a 5-4-3 double play and then tapped over to second base, so he's 0 for 2 tonight as he tries to set the table for Landon Hairston, who's already working on a multi-hit effort. The 1-1 will bounce in there. Ended as a strike, but when it bounces on the grass beforehand, you don't get the benefit of the call, and it's 2-1.
And Kimberly will not get the benefit of a win. His brilliant start will go down as a no decision.
2-1, hit well by Zavorik into center field. Going back on it is Charles, and he'll have plenty of room as it died out there right before the warning track. Zavorik will go down as the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
This has to give an extra set of confidence for the top half of the lineup that has been slow in this game, no doubt about it. Landon Hairston has reached a pair of times. He didn't come around to score. His teammates after him didn't pick up the slack. But this bottom half has found some momentum, and now they just need to be able to keep it with this tie ball game now.
3-3, first pitch swinging and missing is Landon Hairston. Ready for his 4th plate appearance. Started his night with a couple base hits. Tapped softly to the pitcher in his final look against Kimberly back in the 5th inning. Now the 0-1, he'll watch that one go low and in. Ball and a strike. Hairston trying to start a new rally for ASU here in the 7th. Tied ball game 3-3 after Koby Nikolai's home run evened things up and gave ASU some new life. At the back end of this game, there's a good pitch there by Gregory. Hairston didn't like the call. He'll turn around, readjust the batting gloves, look at his dugout. He'll return with a 1-2 count with 1 out. Gregory wearing the short pants, kicks and fires, and Hairston fouls it off to stay alive.
Gregory in this at-bat has done a good job of changing the eye level. Started out relatively high and then went in towards the hands. That time more low and over the center of the plate. We'll see what he goes to here.
1-2. Hairston thought about it, checked his swing. No, he didn't. Appeal down to the third base umpire. Said he went around, and Hairston letting him hear about it, as is the Phoenix Muni faithful. Hairston thought he had ball 2 and set a strike 3 for Billy Gregory in the 2nd out of the inning for GCU.
Yeah, you can hear the reaction from the Sun Devil crowd. At first glance, in real time, it looked like he went around. I think it was, obviously his swing was non-committal, but it certainly looked like at first that he started to go around. Either way, he made it a little too close for that umpire to make the call.
Pitch 1 is ball 1 to P.J. Moutsaritas at 94 miles per hour. He will hit with 2 outs and nobody on after Hairston was rung up by the third base umpires. One of those rubber band checks where he brought his hands around so fast and they snap back. And umpire, I feel like the umpire's guessing at that moment, but to his credit, when you're watching big league games and they slow it down with those camera angles down the line, it's almost always the hitters not being able to check their swing. There's even been talk of a rule change just to make every check swing a strike because of that. And Harrison on the pour into that one. He'll return to the dugout. And Mutsaritas, meanwhile, has a 3-0 hitters count.
And listen, we're not going to have ABS for check swings anytime soon. I don't think so, at least. Landon Harrison would like to say otherwise, but unfortunately he got the wrong end of the stick there.
3-0 pitch to Mutsaritas. He does not have the green light, and it goes right down the middle for strike one. Gregory trying to settle into things after he relieved 6 incredible innings from Kimley, only to immediately allow Koby to tie the ball game up with his 2-run home run, and it'll be a 2-out base knock for P.J. Mutsaritas, his second hit of the evening. Gives some 2-out life to ASU, and the heart of the order coming up in Austin Rolig.
Yeah, fastball down and in towards the hands. Beautiful job by Mutsaritas, who's known as a contact batter, to be able to drive it out into center field, continue the inning. The trends that we've seen tonight, Shay, number one, they've been able to start every inning for the most part with a base runner, able to get one to come around and score, check, and the other is to also get a couple with 2 outs. They haven't necessarily had those late inning rallies. Now in the 7th inning, we'll see what kind of opportunity they have.
Strike one to Austin Rolig, who is trying to keep his 11-game hitting streak alive after an 0-for-3 start to his night tonight. 12 for 20 coming into this ball game since the departure of New Contradas a couple weekends ago. Got the 3 spot in the lineup tonight because of it. And the next pitch from Gregory bounces off the shin guard of his catcher Galvin and allows Mutsaritas to move up into scoring position with 2 away. I'll go down as a wild pitch for the GCU righty, Billy Gregory. And now he's got to worry about another base hit following the one of Mutsaritas. PJ's speed, he'll try to score and take ASU's first lead of the night on a potential hit from Austin Rolig. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Rolig will reach for it. He taps it softly up the middle. Going to be a tough play for the GCU middle infield, and they can't make it. Meanwhile, Mutsaritas is caught in a rundown between third and home. They didn't get the guy at first base, but poor base running by P.J. Mutsaritas was trying to score and got caught with nowhere to go. First baseman Cannon Peary immediately fires to his catcher Galvin, and they record the out as Mutsaritas tries to slide safely back into third base. And a couple base running blunders now for ASU to eliminate some base runners, and that will put the flames out for GCU defensively as ASU is threatening to take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. And instead, it's going to be a tie, 3-3 going into the 8th inning.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in.
Koby Guy remains in the ballgame for ASU as he came in relief for Josh Butler in the middle of that top of the 7th. Allowed his inherited runner to score, but then got ASU out of the inning and kept it close for Koby Nikolai, his catcher, to tie things up at 3-3 with a hot shot opposite field home run to score a pair. 3-3 top of the 8th in a close game here at Phoenix Municipal. First pitch was a strike from Koby Guy, and he'll follow that one up with another one, a swing and a miss from Cannon Peary, the cleanup hitter for ASU, who leads things off here in the top of the 8th.
And just real quick, I don't know if P.J. Moutsaritas blew through the stop sign, if he wasn't even looking at the play at first base, but with a guy like Dean Toigo coming up.
As Peary will pop one up, tracking foul territory at Smaldino right in front of his dugout, getting the leather on it for out number 1.
Koby Guy has done a nice job so far. He's settled in after his first relief appearance in 8 days. But with a guy like Dean Toigo, potentially with 2 runners on, because advancing on what was ruled a hit was Austin Rolig, who now extends his hit streak to 13 games, but not heads-up base running. I don't know who's at fault, but a really, really big spot that could have been for Dean Toigo was to no avail, and I think that was not a smart move.
It's a great point, especially if Toigo's last at-bat was a home run. 1-0 pitch to Jose Lopez is fouled off.
You can say, yeah, he single-handedly brought his team back from not necessarily the dead, but from the depths of deep waters.
Pretty close to it. No runs. It was the Toigo home run in the 6th to break the scoreless start for ASU offensively, and that was followed up in the bottom of the 7th by Cohen Nikolai's 2-run home run, and that's how we have our 3-3 score after GCU took the first lead of the game 2-0, took the 2-run advantage back 3-1 in the top half of the last inning in the 7th, and now it sits 3-3. Koby Guy's got an even count, 2-2 to Jose Lopez, the GCU third baseman. He's walked, he's struck out, he's grounded out, and now he'll hit a hard foul ball to the right side to keep things at 2-2. At bat number 4 for Lopez, the true freshman out of Miami. Hitting .217 on the year as it stands after he had his first career home run this past weekend. 2-2 from Guy. Fouled right back. Lopez on it, but he'll have to do it again.
I like the spots that the righty transfer from UNC Asheville is pinpointing. Seems like he has good chemistry with Nikolai. He's kind of switched from going inside and outside. I think he would go back to a breaking ball inside.
Went with the breaking ball, got the swing and miss, and it's out number 2 in the top of the 8th for Koby Guy and company.
Yeah, that was more a slider from Guy. Started right around over the plate and then finished on the opposite side of the batter's box. Lopez had him in a funk. Guy is cooking.
Start off with a ball as Chacon tried to pull the trigger, decided against it. And for the better, it's 1-0 for Dominic Chacon, the left-handed hitting designated hitter, who is fresh off a double in his last plate appearance, and he'll take strike 1 there.
Guy's got some swagger about him. I like this kid. He brings a lot of experience. His first time in power 4 ball.
And with nobody on base, he gets that ball back from his catcher, Nikolai, and is right back to the rubber, ready to throw another one from the windup. Does so there quickly, but misses in the dirt. It's 2-1. Trying for a clean 1-2-3 inning here. Koby Guy in his first full relief outing. That one's tap foul to the right side. It'll be an even count, 2-2 to Chacon with 2 outs.
Yeah, and ASU, there are certain times where they brought in the big dogs, right? That can throw 95, 96, 97 like an Alex Overbay. They just need consistency here.
That one in the dirt as well. Chacon holds off again, and it's full count. This Guy will try to avoid a 2-out walk here.
Guy will give you at most 93. His off speed's his bread and butter. Big pitch.
3-2. Behind it is Chacon. He taps it to the left side. A long throw by Rolik in the dirt. Scooped by Dominic Smaldino over there at first base. 1-2-3 inning achieved for Koby Guy. And he'll send ASU to the bottom of the 8th in a tied ball game 3-3. And we might have a review here, actually. Umpires gathering, conferring right before the mound, and Chacon is staying put over there at first base. The ASU defense returning to the mound, and they are going to review this. What'd you see?
Looked like he was out. I think the throw was on time. I think Rolig also did an excellent job of waiting on it instead of charging it. I think if he charged it, his positioning would have been a little bit off. The throw, on the other hand, wasn't the most accurate. But again, those bang-bang plays, you're deep in the hole over there. You got to do your best to just fire it over onto your big target in Dominic Smaldino. I didn't see a review gesture from the GCU dugout area. The infield is still in. Koby guy still has.
Might have came from the first base coach and Chacon himself over there at first base, because they immediately stayed put, didn't take a step towards their dugout.
Right, I think you're right, because the first base coach had a better view than actually the only person with a better view was the first base umpire, in this case Jason Rogers. And to the naked eye, I think this will be upheld.
You might be getting to that point in a 3-3 ball game in the 8th where it's like, well, we still have our challenge. It's been a quick moving game. Why don't we slow things down here and try to steal a 2-out base runner? We'll see what the result of the challenge is.
Normally the PA announcer says whatever team would call the challenge. The review is over with, and we will receive the call momentarily.
As it stands, is a Dominic Chacon ground out to the third baseman Austin Rolick to end the inning. And that call will be confirmed. Umpire calls him out. Call remains. ASU will get to return to the dugout for the second time. And it will be a 3-3 tie ball game on Blaze Radio when we return.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game.
Jacob Lemas, the new arm on the mound for Grand Canyon in a 3-3 tied ball game, bottom of the 8th. Dean Toigo, who got robbed of a chance to hit with runners on base in the bottom of the 7th, will now lead off the 8th inning against the new righty, the graduate student. As Toigo, fans thought he did it again there, but it's a fly out to center field. And his next home run will have to wait as an out is retired on the first pitch Lemas throws here in the bottom half of the 8th.
And Toigo did all he could, but now I think it's important with these next hitters coming up, starting with Dominic Smaldino. If there's certain pitches at the start of the at-bat that are not looking pretty to hit, I think your best approach is to be patient. You want somebody to get some sort of rally started, because at this juncture in the game, if you're able to squeak across a run, that would put GCU, no matter what, down to their final 3 outs. I think it's crucial here.
Oh, first pitch Lemas throws to Smaldino, plunks him. It'll be a free pass to get things started for ASU offensively here, and Smaldino mean mugging his own dugout as he tries to get the boys riled up.
And he wore it, no problem. Again, looked like he was on some sort of protective guard, so just jogged down to first as if his at-bat really was just starting. And Smaldino is not the speediest of players you're going to get. I don't think he would be replaced with a pinch runner as well. Looks like we'll just continue to play ball.
Lemas, the Las Cruces, New Mexico native, will throw first pitch. That's fouled off by the other Dominic in this ASU order, Dominic Longo. Limas, a UT Rio Grande Valley graduate transfer who has been roughed up in his 3 1/3 innings of work coming into tonight. 7 earned runs on 9 hits allowed in those 3+ innings. So ASU will try to do the same thing to him here in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead. It would be their first lead of the night. Longo looks at that one at the knees, 0-2. He's quickly in the hole against Limas, the righty.
Limas has a very short delivery, cocks it back not much further than his ear, and has a much lower delivery slot. Certainly gives a different angle and a little bit more velocity than some of the arms that ASU has faced.
In control here, the 0-2 pitch. He tried the breaking ball, and he pulled the string a little bit too hard. It gets way past his catcher, Mr. Galvin. And Dominic Smaldino doesn't need any speed to get up an extra 90 feet to second base. He's there in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run for ASU here in the 8th. It'll be a 1-2 pitch when Limas is ready to throw his next one after that wild one.
Maybe this is what they needed, just taking advantage of some miscues. Really 2 crucial freebies here, Shay.
Hit by pitch, wild pitch. It's got Smaldino chomping at the bit to score. 1-2 offering. Longo looked to be the exact same pitch he took for strike number 2 a few pitches ago. Instead, he gets a ball 2 count.
Good spot. Just brushed off the plate. We've seen 94 now from Limas.
Yeah, hard fastball. Tried to steal a strike 3 there.
Just below the knees.
Even count, 2-2. Smaldino remains at second. Limas checks on him. Now looks at Dominic Longo. Just a bit outside. Another great spot, another good fastball. And Longo has worked the count full.
Definitely 2 close pitches, right? But
gutsy takes from Dominic Longo.
He's been poised and hasn't moved a muscle in the last 2 pitches.
One for 3 on the night. Longo ready for the next one, and he chops it foul just past the head of his third base coach. And it will do the full count pitch again. Longo grounded out to the first baseman in his first plate appearance, followed it up with a single in the 4th, and then grounded out to third to end the 6th inning. So all 3 of his at-bats came on the starter, Cody Kimmerly, for GCU. Now against Limas, 3-2, he waves and misses. 92-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside corner, didn't want to take that one, and it's a strike 3 swinging for out number 2 for ASU in the bottom half of the 8th.
He made it known. That's now 5 consecutive fastballs targeting the outer half of the plate. That's where he wanted to pinpoint to be able to try to send down Longo. Picture perfect accuracy on that last pitch, right below the knees, close enough to the strike zone to draw a swing.
Now it's Garrett Michelle who will wear another one for ASU. 2 hit-by pitches in the inning, both coming on the first pitches of the at-bat to Smaldino and now Garrett Michelle respectively, and ASU will have a pair of runners on, first and second, up to Cohen Nicolai to drive him in, who just did so in the bottom of the 7th with a 2-run shot over the right field wall. That evened things up at 3-3. Just a single here would possibly score Smaldino and make it 4-3 on a 2-out knock. And first, a conference on the mound for GCU to figure out how to workshop this at-bat to Cohen Nicolai. Michelle had pinch hit for Kai McGarry last inning in the 7th. Drew a walk. Was one of the runs that scored on that Nicolai home run. And he'll get another instant free pass here in the 8th. So a couple productive plate appearances for Michelle, pinch hitting for Kai McGarry in the 7th spot. Now he'll be on first base, 90 feet behind Dominic Smaldino, who's also on base with a hit by pitch. Cohen Nicolai has been operating as the backup catcher to Brody Briggs this season. But his offensive numbers are admittedly a shade or 2 better than Briggs. And already a home run tonight. He'll try to further his case to steal that starting spot from Briggs, who will watch on this at-bat, hoping for his teammate to do something special here. 3-3, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Jacob Limas on the mound. First pitch taken in there for a strike by Cohen Nicolai. 93 on the radar gun from that fastball as the heat continues from Limas.
Defense has to be ready. They haven't gotten any action. It's all been Limas' miscues so far that have allowed the base runners to reach.
ASU has stranded 6 runners tonight through their first 7 innings. That one misses low on the fastball. Evens things at 1-1. Smaldino at second. Michelle at first. Nikolai up to plate with 2 away. Beckett Zvork will hit behind him from the 9 spot in the on-deck circle. Lemos gets a sign from his catcher, Galvin. Checks on his runner at second. Now fires home. Misses the outside corner, 2-1. A few minutes before 9 o'clock here at Phoenix Municipal.
It's tense. It feels very tense right now.
We moved through the game the first few innings. GCU finally broke a scoreless game in the 5th with their 2-run frame. ASU came back with a run of their own. GCU followed with their 3rd, and ASU tied it up after that. Nikolai tried to do more damage on that one, but he comes up empty, and it's 2-2.
We have not seen a breaking ball since the first batter he faced. So you know the scouting report if you're the Sun Devils. I don't feel like he's even thrown a lot of strikes per se, but he has drawn a lot of swing and misses, though, from the team in black.
It was that slider, the wild pitch that moved Smaldino up to second, and since then, you're right, all fastballs. He'll throw another one there at 95, and it's hit on the ground to the shortstop, and it's Sanders firing across the diamond to his first baseman, Peary, and plenty of time to end the inning. Nikolai claps his hands, angry with himself for another missed opportunity by ASU. 2 more stranded for the Devils, and the chance to go up slips away from him. We head to the top of the 9th in a 3-3 knotted-up ball game at Phoenix Municipal between Arizona State and Grand Canyon on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown.
Koby Guy remains the pitcher on the bump for ASU. He's worked brilliantly in relief of Josh Butler, an inning and 2/3. No hits allowed, no walks allowed, no runs allowed. He allowed the inherited runner to score on a fielder's choice that played a Beckett Zvork to make it 3-1. Since then, he's now pitching in a tie ball game, 3-3 in the 9th inning, and he's got a pinch hitter to face in the freshman Tanner Johns. Wears number 66 from Las Vegas, and he swings through strike number 1 from Mr. Guy, 1-1. Tanner John's been one of the starters for GCU. Not in the lineup tonight to begin things, but he's hitting 265 from the left side. Koby Guy's 3rd pitch, another fastball that John swings right through, and it's 1-2.
Had a lot at bats so far. This is his 50th of his collegiate career. Looking for hit number 14.
1-2 from Guy. Same result. Same exact pitch. Fastball thrown right by the pinch hitter, Tanner Johns, and GCU will start the 9th inning with an out.
Yeah, it's always tough no matter what. You'd rather start from the get-go, knowing you have fresh legs, you're warming up, you're stretching, you were doing long toss, and for this type of a game, crosstown rivalry, you're sitting down for a while. I'm sure probably 91 from Guy looked like 98, right? Just Guy wasn't giving him anything he hasn't seen before, just swung over the top of it each time. Heavy dose of fastballs for Guy, and no problem sending the pinch hitter down.
Be back-to-back pinch hitters here for Grand Canyon as Carson Oland will grab a bat. Switch hitter hitting .308 on the season for GCU, and he'll take strike one out of the hand of Koby Guy. Limited at bats for Oland, but he's been productive in them. 4 for 13 on the early season.
And a lefty on deck as well in Max Charles.
Head coach Greg Wallace trying to give his hitters an advantage here against Koby Guy, but Guy is dealing right now, and he gets a foul ball there to make it an 0-2 count. Trying to follow up the inning opening strikeout with another one here of Carson Oland. Here is the 0-2. Oland makes contact with it, almost trips out of the box. It'll be an even easier play than it would have been to Beckett Zavorik, who flips it over to his first baseman Smaldino for out number 2. So quick work of pinch hitter number 1 and pinch hitter number 2 for GCU, and it's 2 quick outs for Koby Guy, who tries to send his team back to the dugout to hit in the bottom of the 9th and try for a walk-off of their crosstown rivals, the GCU.
And we're seeing this weakly induced contact because he's been pinpointing his spots beautifully. A lot of times low and away in the zone, and with 2 strikes as well.
No pinch hitter here for Max Charles in the 9 spot. He hasn't needed one tonight. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a ground rule double into the right field corner. That was after he struck out his first time up against the starter Easton Barrett. First pitch missed from Guy. Second pitch will miss as well. The third base umpire again will ring a hitter up. Home plate umpire appeals down to the third baseline.
Third base umpire is jawing right now with one member of the coaching staff for Grand Canyon.
And home plate umpire will call time because of it. Now both teams have had issues with third base umpire Bradley Hungerford's calls on the appeals, the check swing appeals over there at the third baseline on a couple lefties. It was Landon Harrison the first time. Called strike 3 on him. Harrison thought he held up. That time was the lefty Max Charles. Same thing, thought he held up. Hungerford said no. 2-1 count from Koby Guy, and that one will find the zone, 2-2. And Charles not happy with that strike call. He's got a gripe with the third base umpire and the home plate umpire, and it's 2-2.
Guy is doing a really good job of keeping the ball low.
1-2-3 inning in the last frame. He'll get another one here. Swing and a miss. Charles goes down. Second strikeout of the inning for Koby Guy. 4 on the night. And 2 2/3 brilliant relief outing for the graduate transfer of UNC Asheville. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Guy did his job. Gives ASU the chance to walk off GCU in a 3-3 ball game on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Few changes to note here for GCU defensively. Starts in left field, where Tanner Johns pinch hit for Gunnar Pinskover and will take over for him in left field as well. Carson Olin was the pinch hitter for the shortstop, Troy Sanders for the Lopes. Olin will now be lifted for Austin Owens, so Owens is your new shortstop in there in the purple and gray for GCU. And finally on the mound, after Jacob Limas's interesting inning where he did not allow a hit, did not allow a run, hit a couple batters and had a wild pitch thrown in there, but he got out of it, will now give way to Brock Toney. Toney, a righty, with a 4.26 ERA on the year with 6 1/3 relief innings. Struck out 7.
This is go time. This is exactly what these kind of moments can make or break a season, even in a game like this.
Starts with Beckett Zavorik. Sophomore second baseman who's in an 0-for-3 night right now. Couple ground outs. One of those was a double play. Hit the ball hard on a line out to center field in his last plate appearance. Takes ball 1 from Toney. Pitch number 2. Thought about it. Held off right off the outside corner. It's 2-0 on a 92-mile-per-hour heater from Toney. Toney, another one of these GCU pitchers wearing the short pants. Gray threads, purple lettering, purple socks for Toney, and a purple hat. As all that will kick and fire to Zavorik, who will foul it off towards our way here. Right of the press box, 2-1.
And Harrison on deck, waiting patiently. Guy with as much pop as anyone in the country, but can also get the job done offensively in a number of other ways. Just trying to catch the timing. He knows he's going to see him next.
2-1 to Zavorik, who's trying to get on for Harrison behind him. Check swing. Home plate umpire said he fouled it into the mitt of the catcher, Galvin. Either way, it's 2-2. Count evens for the pitcher, Brock Toney. You said earlier you thought Harrison was due for an extra base hit after his couple base knocks to start his night. If that's true, Zavorik trying anything in his power to get on first base for him. 2-2 to him. Just off the outside corner. Another stone-cold take by an ASU hitter. This time it's Zavorik working the count full. It's GCU scoring the first 2 runs of the night in the 5th inning. ASU came back with a Dean Toigo home run to make it 2-1. GCU small-balled their way to the 2-run lead, 3-1, and Nikolai went big-time home run again to even things up at 3-3, where the score stands now. Zavorik, full count pitch, will pop it up into foul territory. Moon ball, big league pop-up. And it's the catcher, Marcus Galvin, diving to catch the baseball once it finally came down. Tough play for the catcher, but he makes it. And an out recorded, an important out to retire Zavorik at the bottom of the lineup before Harrison comes up to the plate.
Big timeout. Big timeout that time for GCU. And if you're Brock Toney on the mound, settled in just a little bit, you got to treat every batter as if they're no different than the other, even if you're facing a guy like Landon Harrison that can end the game with one swing.
First pitch to Harrison. Breaking ball, misses upstairs and out. He tried to backdoor one, and it's 1-0.
He was looking to pitch away. I think that's the right move for Toney.
Harrison 2 for 4 on the night. Those base hits I mentioned earlier to start his night, and since then a ground out and a strikeout. That was a controversial strikeout. Third base umpire rung him up on a check swing. There's a called strike to make it 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. And ASU just needing 1 run to win this game. Game 1 of 3 against their rivals Grand Canyon, the only one they'll have at home here at Phoenix Muni. 1-1 pitch to him. In on the hands, fouled it off to the third base side concession stand, and it's 1-2. Harrison finds himself in another 2-strike count.
Now you saw Toney start this at bat away, and he's crept more in on the hands. So Harrison has seen pitches all around the zone, just waiting for one to line up right in his sweet spot.
Breaking ball bounces in there. Harrison has the discipline to hold off. Blocked by the catcher, Marcus Galvin, with nobody on base. That's 2-2.
If you have a lot of confidence and trust in your breaking ball, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony does. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to it here. Just try to get a hitter like Harrison off balance and keep it low.
2-2 from Tony. Outside, popped out of the mitt of Marcus Galvin. And another full count here from the new guy in the ballgame on the rubber, Brock Tony. Harrison has worked it full, the leadoff hitter for ASU. 2 hits on the night, but none since that third inning. Can he get one here to start ASU in the bottom of the ninth? 3-2, he fouls it off behind him. PJ Mutsaritas, the on-deck hitter for ASU. He's had a great night himself. 2 for 3, couple base hits, a walk, a flyout. And he also made that crucial base running error last time we saw him. We'll try to make up for that. He got caught in that rundown between third and home and got tagged out to end the inning with Toigo on deck. There's a base hit for Harrison right up the middle. Worked a good at-bat, got a pitch he could handle, and deposited it into center field for a one-out base hit to pace the way in front of PJ Mutsaritas and the rest of this core of the ASU lineup.
Yeah, great job from Landon there. Able to extend the at-bat, send some towering fly balls, and then waiting on that pitch perfect. He caught it right in his power zone, able to drive it into center field. More by land than by air, but you will absolutely take it. A 3-hit night, another one for Landon Harrison.
Now Mutsaritas, Harrison on first base. Mutsaritas first pitch swinging. Rifles one foul to the right side.
And we'd be remiss to say that Harrison has some lightning in those cleats. 7 stolen bases that he's working with on the season. None would be bigger than this one right here. If he's able to get a great jump, he's going to go for it, no doubt.
That'll get him into scoring position with less than 2 outs for Mutsaritas, who's a base hit machine. No different tonight. Pitch number 2 is just off the plate on the outer half. 1-1. 90 miles per hour to the arm of Brock Tony there, who's in relief for his first inning tonight. Retired Beckett Zvork to start things off with a pop-up to the catcher that kissed the moon before it made its way back down, then allowed a single to Harrison. Now the 1-1 to Mutsaritas, same pitch, same result, ball 2 outside, missed it again.
Yeah, that pitch that Harrison gave for a ride in the center field was more over the center of the plate. Tony's working this outside corner to Mutsaritas, who hasn't budged.
2-1 to PJ, reached for it, taps it softly right back to the mound. Making the play is the pitcher, Brock Tony. But doing his job, you could say, is Mutsaritas, who will move Harrison into scoring position via the ground out. Now it's up to Austin Rolig. Kept that hitting streak going with his infield single last time we saw him, but got to imagine he wants to do a little bit more damage than that, and now he has a perfect opportunity to do so in a tie ball game in the bottom of the ninth with 2 away.
And those little pitches over to first base, if you're a pitcher, can be really nervy. Tony threw it high, but first baseman able to come down with it in Peary.
First to Rolig. Misses upstairs. Tried the breaking ball. Didn't break soon enough, and it's 1-0. Rolig, the transfer from Utah, playing quite a bit since the injury of New Contradas a couple weekends ago. Hitting .385 on the year. It's a 1-for-4 night tonight. Misses upstairs, 2-0. Rolig staying patient, waiting Brock Tony out for a strike. Dean Toigo, the cleanup hitter in the on-deck circle, already a home run tonight. Tony trying to get back into the count. He won't. Outside corner. Ball 3 called. And now with a free base, a free first base, I should say, does Tony just go ahead and finish the walk here?
I think he's going to still keep it competitive.
Or does he want to go after him with Toigo on deck? It's the latter. Strike 1 called. 3-1. Rolig, one of a bevy of meaningful transfers here for Willie Bloomquist's squad in 2026. Comes over from Utah, where he was on the All Big 12 freshman team as a redshirt freshman after his first season of college baseball was at LSU. Outside, Rolig works the walk. Puts the second ASU Sun Devil on base. Hairston right in front of him at the second base bag, and it'll be Dean Toigo, already the solo home run back in the 6th inning to try to do some more damage.
Big deep breaths from Dean Toigo, who has had a very productive night, not just offensively but defensively as well. We've seen him flash the glove numerous times. And this is the spot. So many innings where there have been 2 on, 2 out, and ASU has not been able to come up big. And this time, in an opportunity to end it, how are they able to live up to the moment here?
Toigo 1 for 4 with the home run, but all 4 at-bats have been hard hit, and he's got another one here. He drives it to center field, and tracking it down on the warning track is the center fielder, Max Charles. 3rd out recorded as Toigo was inches away from a walk-off extra base hit. The center fielder in purple, Max Charles, gives GCU at least another inning. Still tied 3-3 here. We got free baseball from Phoenix Municipal on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Explained.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back 3. You bet! Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to the Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
It was 2 2/3 brilliant innings out of the pen for Koby Guy, but ASU shut down. They leave a couple more guys on the base pass in the bottom of the ninth. They won't give Koby Guy the win. It'll be Finn Edwards coming in for the 10th inning of baseball here at Phoenix Municipal for ASU. No ghost runner on second like is the case in Major League Baseball. Jake Sanko, the leadoff hitter for GCU, will lead things off here in the 10th against Edwards, and first pitch misses for a ball. Edwards has got an ERA of 9 on the year and 3 innings of work.
It was credited with the loss against TCU. Just went a third of an inning, allowed 2 runs, no hits, but 2 runs which are all earned. A lot of that due to 2 free passes.
That's in there for a strike from Edwards to even things up. 1-1 to Sanko. It's 1 for 2 on the night. The bunt was a base hit he got credited for, and that miscommunication by the ASU defense. Checks his swing there, does Sanko, and it's 2-1 on a fastball above the letters. Edwards, a big righty on the mound. Throws hard, and good breaking ball there. Slider gets away from Sanko. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
I think it was so important for the Sun Devils to get Guy extended 3 innings, and he could have gone another, just considering the way that he was rolling on the mound, but they elect to go to Finn Edwards.
Edwards trying to finish Senko off 2-2, and he does just that. Foul tip, strike 3 into the mid of Koby Nikolai. He'll throw down around the horn for ASU, and it's a good start in the 10th for Finn Edwards. Marcus Galvin's turn now. Left-handed hitting catcher for GCU. 0 for 3 on the evening. Does have an RBI on that fielder's choice in the 7th inning. Edwards takes a while, get a sign from his catcher. Koby Nikolai, now he's ready. First pitch, fastball, pulled the string a little too far. Missed inside, 1-0. No defensive changes tonight through 10 innings for ASU. They did have the pinch hitter in Kai McGarry's DH spot, but nothing defensively. It's been a clean game played on both sides. No errors on the scoreboard. We've mentioned a couple of mental errors. One by the ASU defense, a couple more by the ASU base runners.
Yeah, those don't go down as errors, but tomorrow they'll be brought up at the start of film sessions, no doubt about it. A lot left on the field tonight.
1-1 and Galvin, and he fouls it right back off the net. Behind home plate, 1-2. Galvin crowds that plate. He's been hit with 4 pitches this year.
He's real close.
See, maybe he'll try to steal a base runner here. Instead, inside breaking ball, he swings right over the top of it. A sword acquired by Finn Edwards, and he's got 2 strikeouts through his first 2 hitters of his relief outing here in the 10th.
Nasty pitch. Now you see it, now you don't. See you later, Marcus Galvin. It's been a tough night at the plate for him. Is in the RBI column, but 12-6 action to perfection that time from Finn Edwards.
Been a tough night for Billy Scalaferri, too, for GCU. Their number 1 hitter in the 3 spot is 0 for 4 tonight. As he tries to change that with 2 away in the top of the 10th against Finn Edwards. Edwards kicks and fires. First pitch missed low as he tried that slider again that he just struck out Marcus Galvin with.
And you know, too, this is a midweek. You don't want to empty out your pens. You don't want to empty out the position guys you have also that did not start.
In there for a strike at the belt. Edwards comes back to even things at 1-1.
Big weekend for ASU. They play at Kansas State, who has a very good record to start the year.
That's a good point, Koby.
2 wins against Houston. And this game already extra innings.
I'm going to guess managers do not like extra inning games in the midweek.
No.
Especially when you got 2 meaningful conference weekend series coming up for both of these teams.
Yeah, you got your starters lined up, but, you know, obviously they can go so much. If they go at least 5, you're golden. And then it's who after that. You know, Koby Guy is going to be down as well after 3 great innings.
The 2-1 from Edwards skips in there to Nikolai. No swing from Scalaferri. He's got a hitter's count, 3-1. Scalaferri can do some damage. No home runs tonight, but he's got 3 of them on the year. Action in the GCU pen. We'll see if they go with yet another arm to succeed Brock Toney in the bottom of the 10th. Swing and a miss there. Edwards comes back to make things full. 94-mile-per-hour heat right by Scalaferri, who was trying for that 4th home run.
It raised up the intensity, dialed it up in the radar gun.
3-2, 2 outs, nobody on for GCU in the 10th. Edwards, another fastball. Behind again is Scalaferri, but that time he got a piece of it and he fouls it off to the right side.
Edwards has good rise to that fastball. Started at about the letters and shifted towards the inner half on the hands of Scalaferri. I think he would go back to the fastball. Seems like he's more comfortable with that right now. He's skipped a couple breakers.
Full count pitch again. Does go with a fastball, and it's high heat, swung right through by Scalaferri. Finn Edwards in the top of the 10th strikes out the side. And it'll be yet another chance for ASU to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. 3-3 here from Phoenix Municipal on Blaze Radio.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up, we'll have it all for you guys throughout the year. Be sure to tune in every Monday from 4:30 to 5 Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella.
And I'm Landon, and this is Album Splain.
Catch us on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Every week, tune in to hear us talking about and dissecting a different album from artists like Pink Campers, Fleetwood Mac, and more.
As we try not to get off track by talking about random things like Jinx Monsoon and Lane and Drew.
Or Bella's thumb issues.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta-ta!
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else.
Catch Athlete Era every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30 right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in, call in, and join the era.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for a
Bottom of the 10th from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. For those tuning in other time zones, Eastern time, it's 12:30. Guys got to go back to bed. I know this is a good one. And then anywhere Central time zone. You're from St. Louis, right? Maybe you have some family or parents tuning in. It's 11:30, or is it 11:30 or 10:30?
From Columbia, Missouri, close to St. Louis-ish. And it's 11:30, yeah. So not quite the next day.
It's a late one here.
We've got him dialed, though. It's been a good call.
Absolutely. It's Cam Cunnings, a new arm on the right side, facing Dominic Smaldino, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Down on the count, 0-1. Righty kicks and deals. Smaldino on the ground, left side, and through for a base hit. Smaldino is 2 for 4. None bigger than that single tonight.
One thing I want to point out here, Koby, we're just talking about how extra inning games in the midweek, that's nightmare fuel for managers trying to plan a weekend series in conference play. Greg Wallace for GCU said to hell with that. This is one of GCU's better pitchers, better relievers coming in here in the 10th inning of a Tuesday night game. He wants to win this one against ASU. Cunnings on the year, 1.59 ERA and 11 1/3 innings of work. A couple of saves on the season as well.
And showing bunt was Longo, but it's foul down the first base side. He just logged a save in their last win that came on Sunday against St. Mary's. Stands at 6'1", 215. Two-time transfer, originally at Kansas, and then Fresno City College. He's a native of Fresno, California, so transferred back home before he made his way out to the Valley. Infield in on the corners, anticipating bunt. 0-1. Righty deals. Longo swung away, and Val tipped it in and out of the glove of Galvin. So he falls behind, 0-2. Third baseman and Lopez can retreat back to normal depth. The only fielder in is Peary at first, keeping a close eye on Smaldino. Righty kicks and deals, swung on and missed. In and out of the glove of Galvin, and he was getting ready to throw down to first, but the home plate umpire said, nope, that'll do it. Alex Ortiz behind the dish in the mask. That'll be a strikeout for Cunnings. So 1 on the board. And that'll bring back up Garrett Michelle, who took over in the designated hitter spot for Kai McGarry. He was hit by a pitch his last time up, has reached both times, but none of them recorded as at-bats. Walked his first time in the 7th. First pitch he sees, breaking ball misses high and away to the lefty Michelle. Not a big shift defensively for GCU. They're all playing at rather normal depth. Slightly, Sanders has shifted more towards the second base bag. Second pitch on the way, driven into center field high, but not deep enough. Into the glove of Charles, who ranged back and beautifully timed it up to make the catch at chest height. 2 gone really quick. That'll bring up Cohen Nikolai.
It's another rocket shot hit right to the center fielder, Max Charles. It feels like the GCU center fielder has been exactly where he is needed to be on all these hard hits ASU's had to that part of the field. None bigger than the one that ended the last inning in the bottom of the ninth. Dean Toigo trying for a walk-off double. Resulted in a line out instead, and another hard hit baseball retired by Max Charles out there in center field.
Smaldino on first, 2 away, bottom of the 10th. Big swing and a miss from Nikolai. 86, nasty breaking ball down and away. Left side of the infield playing as deep as you could get. It's Sanders touching the lip of the grass in left center field, and Lopez about a step in from the left field grass. Smaldino, no secondary lead. 0-1 pitch, little downstairs and away. Went back to the breaking ball, missed the zone that time. For Cummins, it's its final year of eligibility. He's gone as long as 4 innings, and then that outing with 5 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch, caught on and missed. Weak swing that time. Nikolai pounding his chest saying, that was not my pitch, should have stayed patient. Count falls to 1-2.
Seen a lot of those really awkward swings by ASU hitters tonight. And this one's from Cohen Nikolai, who's had a 2-run home run on the evening. Fooled on whatever breaking pitch that was from Cunnings.
1-2 pitch, ripped on the ground, off the third base bag, and over the head of Lopez. Smaldino is chugging. The big man gets to third. The left fielder Pinscover bobbles it. Smaldino touches home. What did we just see? How did that happen?
Put the ball in play, and good things happen.
Whoa!
And that's exactly what happened there with Cohen Nikolai. Already tied the game up with his 2-run blast in the 7th inning, opposite field to make things 3-3, and he ends things here in the 10th inning. Hit it hard down the third base line, hit the bag hard, popped over the head of Lopez, and then the left fielder out there, and Tanner Johns, the freshman who was put in replace of Pinscover late in this ball game, finds himself thrown right into the fire, bobbles the baseball, and that allows the big guy, Dominic Smaldino, to come all the way from first base to score. What an ending.
Were we playing pinball or were we playing baseball?
That baseball was batted around by...
It was not the fault of the left, or rather the third baseman, Lopez. It took a bounce higher than a 10-foot basketball hoop off the third base bag, and an inexcusable blunder in left field, just not being able to pick it up with his bare hand. That left fielder that came in for Pinscover, who was it, Shay?
It was the freshman Tanner Johns.
The freshman Tanner Johns, who has had a productive season offensively. That one's going to sting. That one is going to sting. It's not that it's just ASU and GCU and this is some sort of new rivalry, even though they're in different conferences. But it's the fact that these two teams play multiple times each and every year. It's the only time that they play here at home for Arizona State in front of the Phoenix community fans that can finally now eat, take a bite, whatever it may be, enjoy the rest of their night, which is short as the waning hours are close to 10 p.m. local time here. But an unfortunate miscue, but then something that was in your control completely did not work out in their favor. The only blunder, at least, that shows up in the error column, we saw a bunch of base running miscues or miscommunication in terms of a pump fake from Jaden Alba and who we wanted to throw to first base to, but that one will show up on the scoreboard, and that stings.
Yeah, we were just talking about how clean of a defensive game it's been for both teams, but mainly GCU, and the last possible moment you can commit an error, Tanner Johns does so in left field, and Dominic Smaldino, we've talked about how he's not the speediest runner on a couple of occasions tonight. He got thrown out earlier in the game at second base, trying to stretch a single into an extra base hit. Had all the speed he could use there, going first to home on a ball that, you put it perfectly, just pinballed around the left side of the field for the walk-off for ASU.
What a night of baseball. Venezuela is the winners of the World Baseball Classic over the United States. And then an insane, a wild walk-off here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Arizona State, it has been quietly an impressive 20-game start. They are 15-5, and they take on another 15-5 team Saturday and Sunday in the Kansas State Wildcats. But they're definitely going to want to let this one sink in, go back to the drawing board, watch the film, because it certainly wasn't pretty on both sides of the ball. Hats off also. He had an excellent start, the freshman in Koby Kimile. It's not going to It's not going to show up in the stat sheet in terms of a win, but a young guy that didn't throw harder than 91, went 6 innings against a Power 4 program that has aspirations of making a regional and beyond. So I think a very impressive performance from him. Do you have any quick final thoughts, or do you want to pack things up and we'll get a bite?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you brought up Kimile because he did have a fantastic 6 innings of work. It's a team that comes in on ASU's side 6th in the nation in slugging percentage, and Kimile, and it's just his second career start as a true freshman, put him to bed for most of the game. Finally allowed that home run to Dean Toigo in the 6th inning, but other than that, it was great, and he ended his outing with a chance to get the win. Didn't work out for the youngin', but on the other side for ASU, I thought you had a lot of productive nights from a lot of pitchers. I think if you're Willie Bloomquist, you love what you saw from Easton Barrett, kind of getting back in step as a starting pitcher, potential starter the rest of the way for ASU. Jaden Alba had a good start to his outing before running into some trouble. Josh Butler had a good start to his outing before running into some trouble. And how about Koby Guy, who was absolutely fantastic and probably the key to this win, if we're being honest, in his 2 2/3 of shutout innings with 4 strikeouts. And then Finn Edwards comes in. He'll get the win tonight as Edwards struck out the side in his 10th inning of work. So I think in a game where you had to use maybe more bullpen guys than you were expecting, you used some guys that you haven't thrown out there a whole lot this year, and I think Willie Bloomquist liked what he saw.
I don't know what it is about teams in purple, but there have been some wild finishes. This one goes the way of Arizona State. They faced a team in purple in a 3-game set this past weekend, and yes, they were able to shake off a really bitter taste from a Friday loss in which there was a 7-3 double play to end it on potentially what could have been the game-tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning. They took care of the last 2. They take care of tonight. This is a team that is red hot. They just entered the rankings, and maybe no matter what occurs this weekend, have put a stamp on potentially being back in the rankings next week. Big 12 play on the horizon for Arizona State. Mountain West play on the horizon. Their first ever Mountain West games in Grand Canyon history when they go to Pullman, Washington to face the Washington State Cougars. For Shay Moloney, I'm Koby Braunstein. Take a breath, everyone. That was a wild one. We'll do the same here. 4-3 victory for Arizona State on a 3-game winning streak before they head to Manhattan, Kansas. What a wild one from Phoenix Muni. Good night, everybody.
Whether you call it soccer, football, or footy, all of those are synonymous with the world's game. Across the pond, with Andrew Evans and Seth Golevsky, as you covered with all the footy action throughout Europe and throughout the world. From the Premier League to the Champions League, and with the 2026 World Cup coming up,